Hey! Hey, you got my face in the video.
Doxed yellow flash.
Oh, man. I've been doxed.
Whoops.
Oh, dang it.
Hi, wrong
Life
button.
is over now.
Life is over. Oh, well. You'll get to see him at MegaCon. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Tights. It has been, us for the entertainment sphere, a slow as hell month. Probably the slowest month since COVID. And then everything happened in the last 72 hours. What the f is going on? Thanks, Anthony Mackie. And then Emelia Perez.
Oh. Yeah, I just recorded a video about all that.
Oh, my goodness.
Now it's that shit is actually hilarious.
It is.
Because it in itself, the topic in and of itself, the fact that a dog shit movie that even a lot of different like diversity groups have a big problem with gets nominated at all, let alone for 13, the second most all time, right? More than Return of the King. That's how many nominations it gets. A dude gets nominated for Best Actress. So you have to see these.
Who plays a dude?
I hope he wins.
Who plays a dude for 1/3 of the film?
Yes,
that's important.
Who
better?
We need men to sweep all of the best acting awards.
That's what I'm hoping, right?
Let's go, men!
Women who have promoted female empowerment and also trans rights, have them deal with a man stealing their award. But now, in the past 24 hours, people found out a little more about Carla Sofia, whatever her name is. Gascon. That's right, Carla Sofia Gascon. And it turns out, despite the fact that this dude is pushing a bunch of progressive talking points and talking about diversity. Rewind the clock about 3 years ago, shitting all over fucking Muslims in Europe, shitting all over the Oscars diversity efforts and saying that it looks like a Black Lives Matter rally.
He should team up. He should team up with Idris Elba and get rid of the kitchen knives.
Yes.
Yeah, those are dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, we will talk about that. We'll talk about that. We'll also talk about, of course, Captain Un-American, Captain African American, Captain Anti-American, and the backlash, and statements that might go back all the way to Falcon and Winter Soldier. You know, if you watch that show.
He's been commenting on this since at least 2016.
Yes. So there's that. And breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I had a The Acolyte is still canceled. The Acolyte is still canceled. And guess what? Ryan, I think it's time we just tell the truth, right? I mean, we've been holding it in for so long. We got The Acolyte canceled. You're welcome.
Bastards.
I hope you're happy.
I was really enjoying the revenue from that show.
Yeah, it was totally us, you know.
Yeah.
Rebecca Henderson, Leslie Headland's ugly gay wife, who continues to post time after time about how YouTubers got this show canceled instead of the ratings. Yeah, you're 100% right, Rebecca Henderson. We used our one get out of jail free. We used our one shit with Lucasfilm and said, hey, I know you never give us anything that we fucking want, but this is the one thing. Can you guys do this for us? Cancel that? Like, no problem. We'll take care of it for you. That's the one thing in the last decade that they've listened to us about. You're 100% right.
You would think Leslie Headland, who learned from the master, could have strong-armed a better woman, a better-looking woman.
I talked about this because Leslie Headland dropped out of the film that she was supposed to be doing for Netflix, and now she's just focusing on turning her play into a movie, and that takes all of her time. And I found out that the Broadway production that's currently running of her play right now is also starring Rebecca Henderson, her gay wife. So we do know Leslie Headland.
What if her wife wasn't gay? That'd be
all
weird.
the women you fuck, you give roles to. So that's what she learned from Harvey. That's what she's doing.
What's the play called?
So,
Fingerer on the Roof? All right.
We'll get to all that. We'll get to all that. But first, we have a sponsor.
What with that specifically?
How?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's Rumble. So the sponsor is Rumble today. So that might explain it. Well, we actually have another one, too. But we'll get to that in just a second. While free speech has, I have to change this a little bit. While free speech has been under attack, but Rumble refuses to back down, we've always believed in empowering voices, no matter how unpopular. And now we're taking that fight to the next level. When major advertisers conspire to pull their dollars, even brands like Dunkin' Donuts turn their backs. Well, honestly, that's a gift for everyone because donuts make you fat. Claiming Rumble had a right-wing culture, but we're not here to fit that mold. We're here to defend free expression. To strengthen this mission, we're excited to offer Rumble Premium, a completely ad-free experience with exclusive benefits for viewers and creators. It's more than a subscription. It's a stand for free speech. Your voice matters. Join Rumble Premium. For a limited time, you can get $10 off an annual plan using promo code Nerdrotic. Visit rumble.com/premium/Nerdrotic and claim your discount today. Together, we can turn the tide. Whether you join Rumble Premium or simply keep watching, your support helps free speech live. There you go. And then I'll do this live real quick. New Dime is restocked because you guys sold them out. Look at you guys.
Ooh,
New Dime.
Wow.
Yes. No, New Dime.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
No one cares what the price is in
Canadians.
fucking Canadian
So-
money.
This
when you
is
do this.
$2.
Oh man, now you go just a little.
Yeah,
It's
that's
really
like
good.
$15 more than it really is.
It
Yes,
smells.
my pubes have never been more tame.
Yes. If you choose, you know what? It won't burn your it won't burn your private parts if you use it down there if you so choose to.
Huh.
Yeah.
Have you used it down there, Carrie?
No, that's
Have
what
you
I've
tested
told.
this?
No, I have a short and scrotum.
Won't cause
It's
the
really
bus
quite breathtaking.
I do not need to know this.
Hey, if you want your loved one to go down there, it's got to smell good.
Yeah, if
We were
you
in
want,
TMI like 5 minutes ago. Now we've just got off.
yeah,
the
if you
Hey,
want your
if you want your loved one to go down there, fucking cut that shit, bro.
go downtown, yeah, man.
On one
Do a little
meat helmet.
manscaping.
Yeah,
On
do a little
one's meat helmets.
manscaping, get that machete out and get the jungle down there. We don't want to.
Chainsaw.
What happened?
Unless you're in the UK, then
Hang
you get
on.
a butter knife.
Dan,
Don't tell Dan,
Dan,
make it
no,
innocent for
Dan
him.
Bass.
Don't tell
the
Dan
point, sir.
Bass that. That's the
No,
thing.
don't tell because he'll burn it like a rainforest. So don't. Okay.
No, that's how Dan had his machete accident. That's what we're saying.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he tried and failed. Almost lost his digits. So check out New Dime. That's a great
Which
commercial. Which is 30 Canadian pesos and 41 cents. I don't know what it is American.
What is that in real money? Yeah.
What is that in real money? What is that in
How has this never been
non-communist
converted
money?
through all this time?
1995.
$20.63 ish.
X-Ray Girl, you're in America right now. What the hell?
Why is it still showing this?
I don't know.
It's
Where
$20. It's $20.
Change the region. Yeah, or the currency.
Okay.
is- Oh, there we go.
You're
It's at the
Asian.
top.
You're supposed to know that off the top of
Yes.
your head.
There
$20.
we
Less
go.
than half.
You know,
It's
it
less
actually
money.
changes daily, the rate. So
You
It
save
lasts a
$1 on
long
the conversion
time.
rate on this, basically. That's awesome. Lasts a long
Wow, that's awesome.
I was very
That's great.
close with my 1995. So
time. Yeah.
Very close. All right. And our special guest today is Yellow Flash. What's up, brother? Hello. From Flashcast and videos. Good day to bring
Good
you
to be
on.
here.
We might talk
Yeah,
about.
we're talking about Spider-Man and not Doctor Who.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, Doctor Who got kicked off the subject list. It's so like whatever. I talked about it on the. We'll talk about it on the Rumble, but
It's a woman.
actually,
The
that
whole
was
time.
we brought you on to talk about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, and that thing got kicked so far down to the curb. It's bad. We'll talk about it.
So bad.
I made everybody watch it, so we will talk about it. But it's just a dumb cartoon. The voice actor Yellow Flash came out and said it wasn't woke.
Yeah, what a fucking liar.
Oh my gosh. Like as irrelevant as it is, and the fact that no one's watching it, I think it's still important to point out and
Yes.
to see because it is insanely woke, and it's a great case study. It's like, yeah, they're still making this crap. It's still going to be coming out, and there's a lot of stuff in kids' media that they want to just slide under that radar.
Oh yeah.
Sneak in.
No.
My biggest complaint of that show isn't even that every single character has been changed to a different gender or race, but it's the fact that once again, Uncle Ben pissed away, thrown out, which is a strong part of that character because he didn't start off as a hero. When he first got his powers, he was trying to make money.
Yep.
Well, let's
I mean,
just throw that away.
Kinda like the
I
crowd
guess
Would have made more
I
sense
guess
without
it-
him.
single mothers really build that character up now. That's good enough.
So
that
the
pissed me
thing
off,
that I would
Flash.
say in kind of like, I don't like that either. I think it's stupid. But in defense of the reason the show is that way, this started off as
a Tom
origin
Holland
story for Tom Holland
origin.
Spider-Man. That's how it started off. And they changed that along the way. But I meant because that's exactly what Tom Holland. I mean, they even have this same fucking scene of
Yes,
Peter Parker
shot for
walking
shot.
into his apartment and taking his headphones off and talking to Aunt May who's in the living room, and instead of Tony being there, it's Norman Osborn. So like they were 100% going with a bunch of different parallels to Tom Holland's Spider-Man in this because it was originally supposed to be an origin. But I agree with you in premise. The idea of a Spider-Man becoming a Spider-Man like this, it's the reason why one of the reasons I didn't like Tom Holland's Spider-Man for the first 2 fucking movies. And it's not until we get this fucking, again, swap.
He's not Spider-Man. He's just a fucking Zoomer kid.
Where he finally loses something, actually loses something in Spider-Man No Way Home. It's the first time we really, truly see that. And it's the first time I've ever wanted to see more Tom Holland Spider-Man is in the aftermath of that movie.
Yep.
But it's a problem for
because they
hero.
went backwards, and the reasoning behind like no Uncle Ben and no MJ, no Gwen Stacy, or they changed Flash is probably Sony and rights issues. That would be my guess. I could be completely wrong. I think what also plays into it is male mentors are bad, the anti-male sentiment from Hollywood, the anti-masculinity sentiment of Hollywood. So we can't have a white male mentor because, man, those are just so racist and bad. And it supports white supremacy.
But let's make Norman Osborn, who's the biggest piece of shit in the Marvel universe, a black guy.
I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that scene where he has sex with Gwen Stacy.
Oh my god!
I don't know why they can't be honest about Uncle Ben. They can't just sit Spider-Man down and be like, "Look, he left to start a microwavable rice company, and he's not coming back." And
at least they can't race swap him.
Yeah.
We do have some breaking news in the comic realm as well. The Sandman has been canceled by Netflix.
Whoa! Get the article. Hang on. We'll return to this.
Hey, listen, they're just listening and believing like Neil Gaiman said they should.
Yeah, I mean, they're just doing what Neil Gaiman said.
Hasn't it been
put it up,
like
Garrett.
2 years or something since last season?
Well, it was going in. No, it got green. Well, for one, it didn't do that great to begin with, probably because most of the characters that were in the Sandman book don't look like it or just weren't there, which Neil Gaiman was absolutely for. Race swapping Death, the single most recognizable character from Sandman. Every goth girl wanted to look like Death, so they made it a black girl. Neil Gaiman was okay with it. They get rid of Constantine, and oh god, it was Jenna Coleman, right? Like it was Clara. I don't know if I'm probably getting her name wrong, but it was Clara from Doctor Who. So it didn't get picked up for a second season for months after season 1 aired, and then it finally did. I was told it was in production, but I guess not. Netflix's Sandman to end with season 2.
After.
Okay. So not surprising. I think I said that in the live stream as soon as this news went down, is like, look for this to get canceled. And here it is. It'll be funny to see a Sandman show without Neil Gaiman's name on it. I bet you his name gets completely removed, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, their convictions aren't that deep because they'll wait till after they produce an entire season and release it and everyone watches it.
Well,
take it.
Yeah, have they shot
if they
this
really,
thing?
really cared about it that much,
that's what I thought. It was
would
like
cancel the whole thing
deep
outright.
in production. I don't know how you cancel this thing. That would be crazy.
This is such a virtue signal then, because if, let's say, season 2 comes out and it's just massive, wow, I finally discovered this show and the ratings are through the roof, they'll just bring it back. They'll just keep it going.
Maybe.
Well, that's what they did with Clarkson. If you remember, Clarkson got in trouble over comments about the royal family, and they were like, we're not renewing his contract, or this is going to be the last season. And then they waited a year or two, and then went, we're doing another season with him. So they just wait for everything to die down and quietly renew it.
Wasn't there comments he made about Meghan Markle?
Yes.
Nobody
I read
likes
the comments.
her.
I never saw any problem with what he said. You read it, and I didn't know where the problem was, but apparently loads of people got arsed.
It ended up not getting canceled, and they ended Grand Tour because they were just getting too old. Like they ended on their own terms, and also Clarkson Farm was doing great, and it's one of the most watched shows on Amazon Prime, more than Rings of Power. Crazy. So, what's the details of the article? Could you bring it up real quick? Let's go.
The Sandman is being deported.
Yes. It was all just a dream. Fans of the Sandman waited decades for their favorite title to get a decent adaptation, and now
They're still waiting.
yes,
still are.
They still are. And now that they finally did, which they didn't, it's gone. Netflix announced today that the ambitious series is canceled after 2 seasons, meaning that the episodes that were filmed will still debut at some point. Whether this is a coincidence or not, it's not. The announcement comes just a little over a week after series creator Neil Gaiman was accused by several women of sexual assault. It's been almost a year since these accusations come out. By the way, innocent until proven guilty. I don't know if he's ever been convicted of a crime or if it's been taken to the police.
But off of Neil Gaiman's own opinion, we need to listen and believe.
Yes.
That's right.
So
Yes.
I think this is all.
It's a convenient
on the
out for them too. They can just claim it was that rather than ratings.
Oh, smart. So really, this is setting a good precedent. Anytime a show is tanking, someone from the show just has to sexually harass a woman.
Or
And
all you
then-
have to do is dig up the dirt that's already there, Chrissy.
Right, right.
Just make an accusation. That's all you need.
That's foreshadowing for Emelia Perez, by the way. That was foreshadowing. So Neil Gaiman is getting canceled. Dark Horse dropped him. Good Omens season 3, they canceled that. Marvel and DC were both quietly canceling projects over the last few months. Neil Gaiman had one of the biggest PR machines out there for a comic book creator and fought this off as long as he could. The debate can reign. I don't really care either way. I'm just observing this. The debate can reign on whether, he's absolutely allowed as an adult with other adults who are consenting to be as degenerate as he wants. And I don't really care. I don't really give a crap. But he is a male feminist, a true blue male feminist. So
What kind of a
through and through.
who gets a bathtub and just puts it in the middle of their fucking garden?
Neil Gaiman, I guess.
Doesn't even have.
Oh,
I can't. Maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't even see plumbing attached to it. So you're just taking buckets of hot water to this thing?
Old school bath. Yeah.
very old school.
It's artistic.
And what kind of a moron goes and gets in it? That
Yeah,
does-
so this is the thing that I said about a
Yeah.
lot of the women involved in
Yes,
this story.
yes.
We have to acknowledge that
Absolutely.
all these women, well, at least some of the ones in the stories we had, you're an 18, 19-year-old girl, and 65-year-old gross fucking Neil Gaiman wants to start hanging out with you. It's not because he
Yeah.
enjoys your conversation or thinks you're fucking enlightening. It's because he wants to finger bang you and then fuck you. That's why he's talking to you. So if you're a babysitter for Neil Gaiman, okay, like the one person who's the main person in the story, if you're a babysitter for Neil Gaiman, one, the idea that he's asking you, hey, go ahead and take a bath out in this, open place back here. Don't worry, I'm going on a trip, so I won't be here, but you can go ahead and do that.
Oh,
That's okay. Maybe you don't think he's going to be there taking advantage of this cool house. All right, I can kind of buy that. Then he walks out, fucking drops his towel off, saggy balls, fucking is like, hey, let me get in. And you're like,
Wrapped
no.
over his shoulder.
really
You know, how to,
described
you
it.
know how to paint a picture, don't you?
The pubes are perfectly
Wearing them like a scarf.
coiffed with new dime product.
Exactly.
And they smell
I'm
great.
trying to paint the picture of how ridiculous it is for this woman to stay there, right?
See how it works?
He gets in, and you're like, all right, this is weird. This is kind of uncomfortable. And he's immediately tries to force his finger in your asshole,
Oh,
right? And you're like,
The
no,
asshole
don't do that.
first?
He's like, can I
Oh,
come on your
man.
tits? No. Can I come on your face? No. Would you
Oh,
grab
there
my
goes
dick?
the-
No.
yeah, we're
Apparently he does
demonetized.
that stuff anyway.
he
I
told
just
her
love
he was
that
trying to
Ryan's
unlock
reaction
the
to that is-
secrets of the
these are all
DC
facts.
universe.
I
Hey,
just love
no.
that Ryan's reaction to that is, that's a bit weird. Like, wait, that's more than a bit weird.
Just like with Warren Ellis, if you have
That's curious.
sex with Warren Ellis or Neil Gaiman, it's going to make you a better comic book writer somehow.
Right.
Yeah, by
So-
osmosis.
so those things happen, right? Those things happen.
Yes.
And maybe you didn't know what to do in the moment. Maybe you froze and you tried it. You said no, but it didn't work. And it's very fucking weird and uncomfortable. The next day you come
Like,
back
just
to the fucking house.
Dramatic
and then you
pause.
do so week after week after week after he continually is doing these things to you, fucking you in the ass. You talk to his whore, slut, degenerate wife that he trades women around with too, and she doesn't want to do anything about it. But you stay there for months, and I understand that sometimes people might be in a weird financial situation or worried about this repercussion, but at some point we have to put some of the responsibility on women who are putting themselves in these positions.
Same with me too.
Accountability.
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
You have to, right?
That's no
Like
fun.
like all of Me Too. Damn near all of Me Too. That's Me Too was used as a power move. Isn't it weird how they stopped with men and then really stopped with kids? They just did it to women, and some of the women ended up sleeping with underage guys who were part of the Me Too movement. So
Talk about that.
And I'm not saying that means everything Neil Gaiman did was fine, right? There are people that might know they're in a position of power and fucking using that and holding over people's heads and all these things. And he tried to pay off a bunch of these women too, right?
And did pay them off.
If these things are true, that what he did is okay, right? But we have to look at how these women are interacting and behaving, and whether they're just fucking naive or retarded or whatever. You have to take some accountability for that.
Absolutely.
Again, if you're some hot 18-year-old girl and Neil Gaiman wants to hang out with you, you better know damn well what the fuck is going on. And I think in a lot of cases, those people do know damn well what the fuck is going on. I think a lot of people that walked into Harvey Weinstein's room knew exactly what was going to happen. They were going to have to fucking suck his little cock, let him fuck them, whatever, and then they're going to get an awesome job and millions of dollars. And I think a lot of those women were perfectly fine with it at the time. As Leslie,
a lot of
Headland
us
had
do it
the
for
doorstep.
nothing. So
I'll use my favorite meme for this if you want to show it.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
All I'm saying is that needs to be part of the stories when stories like this come out.
Whoa.
Not that Neil Gaiman's not a fucking deranged, lunatic, degenerate piece of shit.
And
but
hypocrite.
Also, these other things.
Yeah, and a male feminist. And God, I'm sorry. I hope we never hear from this again, ever. I
had to lick my own feces.
Jesus.
what? What?
Is that a real quote?
Go-
One of
go-
those women after he was fucking her.
no.
Are you kidding me?
Read the article if you dare. We're not going to.
Ryan knows all the deep lore on this.
So,
That was
back,
so
Ryan
lame.
was just
That was
making
so-
stuff
so
up.
back to Spider-Man. Back to Spider-Man. Thank you very much.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Where is this article?
You've just given the internet a gift with that clip there, Ryan.
That one already is out there, to be honest.
I really thought that Ryan was just making things up and like.
No.
No,
And,
dude.
That's a-
I am
he's
trying
just
to. I am
Batman.
trying
That's
to
an
move.
allegation.
I thought he was
Chrissy,
being
Chrissy,
colorful.
Chrissy. I'm trying to move past this as fast as I can because I don't give a shit. But he likes to lick it.
It's fine. You're already demonetized.
Yeah. No, I honestly don't.
Trying to pass.
Listen,
subject.
I've always thought Neil Gaiman was absolutely the most overrated comic book writer on the planet. Got like people love Sandman. I didn't really like it that much. It's fine. The art was great, but I thought everything about him was overrated. Look at his body of work, completely overrated. He's done some good stuff, but he's not like seminal comic book writer, one of the greatest literary minds out there. No, he just likes 18-year-old girls.
He did a speech during the WGA strike where he spoke about how he would go into work, look at his previous work and think, oh, that's not as bad as I thought it was yesterday.
Yeah.
It just seems like you've got low standards. It's like, well, you thought this was crap, and you go in the next day like, that'll do, and then you just carry on from there.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So back to
You
Spider-Man.
know, he's got that British accent. It sounds prestigious, you know?
So back to
Just for-
Spider-Man.
Just sounds so respectable.
Speaking of shit.
Speaking of
Yeah, let's go back to shit.
Yeah. Gary wants us to lick it.
Oh, he
I made you watch it.
Watch it.
I made you watch
effectively
it.
the same thing,
You didn't
Gary.
have to watch freaking Amelia Perez, so shut up. I had to watch that.
You had to watch that
The
crap?
jury's still out on that.
Yes, there's a video
actually.
for it.
Holy. Like,
You haven't had to watch it yet.
don't, I'm not sure I could. Gary, like, if you ask me, that one might be just
If you want to
too
break the
far,
FNT panel, we should watch it.
Oh,
Don't.
You have to watch it.
I think you should watch it. Absolutely. Before the Oscars? Absolutely. Yes.
I
Yes.
might rather watch that than your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. The rest of the episodes, like I'm not even really joking because that you can just roast and make fun of, like because it's
Yes.
obviously just so retarded. Whereas this is like, man, this is something that is a universe that I used to care
How
about.
many?
Yeah,
how
to set-
many
to set the-
episodes is it getting?
It's I don't even know.
10.
10? Okay.
10, okay.
And it's already got a season 2 or a season 3. Don't really care. Probably because they're
They
already
say.
Wait, how are they going to do that? They fired the
they're
whole
in
animation.
well, most of it was in
Probably already
production.
made them and
But they
recorded them.
moved the animation to like Canada or something like that. But to set this up,
Awful
correct me if
animation,
I'm
by the
wrong.
way.
The animation
The
sucks.
background people.
correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the first solo Disney Spider-Man project. That's not a game or anything. This is just pure Disney. I don't think Sony has anything to do with this.
After Sony, they don't have anything to do with this.
They
but
don't
there
have
was
anything
another.
to do with this.
There was another Spider-Man show that Dan Slott was a producer on, which is called Spider-Man. That was after Sony lost the TV license.
Oh,
which,
so they
when
did the Spider-Man cartoon.
abruptly-
they got rid of Spectacular Spider-Man and they did the Spider-Man.
then there was
cartoon.
Ultimate Spider-Man,
Yes,
which sucked. It was garbage.
but
Did
that
like
was
a team.
Did they have Spidey and his amazing friends by themselves? The
Yeah,
kids show?
that's new.
Okay.
And they also swap out characters on that show too.
They do.
Doc Ock is like a
As a
half
woman.
head shaved woman.
dude. Spectacular Spider-Man was great.
The
That was
best.
Great cartoon.
If they could have went a little bit longer, I think it could have rivaled the
Yeah,
90s show.
Yeah, I didn't like the ones after it. Like the one where like the little Spidey's talking on his shoulder and shit.
Yeah, that's Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah,
It's
I
shit.
stopped watching that. But this one like is on Disney Plus, and they were trying to go for the Ramita look. They got the little zip-a-tone with the shitty animation. They have like characters who literally are just look like cutouts in the background.
Yeah,
It's
T-posing.
awful.
There's actual T-posing there, yeah.
It's better than teabagging, I guess. Disney Plus's best new show arrives with a perfect 100% critic score.
Wow, I'm shocked.
Oh boy.
Utterly
Paul.
shocked.
What?
Cassie.
Rotten Tomatoes is just the pinnacle of all things legitimate.
So
Just
Well, and
because
how-
like only
also,
2
how
people
many-
reviewed it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it like 10 reviews or something? Can't be that many for these animated shows.
are they referring to Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's
Well,
on
that's
there.
like
let's go
Rotten
look at it.
Tomatoes, isn't it like over 50%? And I could see you giving this 50%. So it's very hard to have like strong emotions about if you're not into like they won't care that they swap characters and stuff.
Oh, it's
Most
down
of
to
the
97.
Episodes are just boring. It's just kind of there.
Yeah, it's not. It's
It has
not
32
offensive,
reviews,
Down to 97.
down to 97%, 31 fresh, 1 rotten. The audience score is 63 right now.
that's pretty low for audience score. I think it'll be forgotten by the time it ends because it is pretty boring. The only thing to really talk about is Dr. Carla Connors, the black lizard, the black female lizard. We have Lonnie Lincoln, who plays, I guess, the Flash Thompson character, who is Tombstone. Nico is Nico from Runaways. There is the Filipino girl is some character they made up
Pearl.
in 2019. Pearl, Wave, like black.
The lesbian best. Oh, no, that's
So
his
there's no
babysitter.
Spider-Man.
Who looks
like
like an Amazonian woman, by the way.
Yeah,
Pearl
she's
is
like
huge.
much taller than him at least.
Is a
She got
senior who
bigger
is his
shoulders than me.
babysitter, and now he's a freshman or something.
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
feels.
Yeah.
he doesn't
Also, Peter Parker, he's supposed. They say he's a loser, but it seems like everybody loves him. He sure as hell's
Yeah.
getting bullied by anybody.
Nope. No, he's not
Like
getting.
the football jock gets into science, and that's how he makes friends with him. So
Yeah,
it's a
future
weird-
Tombstone's a smart,
Yeah.
smart
Baron.
kid.
And they make sure to show you that Peter Parker thinks black people are fucking retarded, and it turns out that Lonnie Lincoln's actually really smart.
Yeah.
He's really good at
Yeah.
science.
So Peter's
Which is
racist.
really weird.
Yeah,
This
he
is
is.
And then
school
the-
for geniuses.
And then in Queens, there's this.
That's
there's,
true.
And then in Queens, there's this horrible like white people committing crimes problem, especially a white woman who robs a
White
black
woman.
man.
Yeah.
All the
And the
He's
black
like,
man
she's
forgives
sorry.
her. The black
She's
man
like,
forgives
sorry.
to
let
call
her
back an
go.
old quote, there's not very many good white people in this show.
Yeah, there's six. They're yeah. It's disproportionate. They're committing 60% of the crime. What the hell's going on?
She was complaining, oh, I was just desperate for cash. I couldn't eat. That shop had like a job offer in the window, and I thought they were going to go, oh, well, I could help you. And he's just like, nah, let her go. And then he turned to Spider-Man and went, you'll probably regret that, mate. I'm like, it's like, I'm not really sure we should have forgiven her in this situation.
Yes. I mean, if she was like high on fentanyl and kind of drooling, I'd kind of believe it. But no, this just looks like somebody who works in the HR department at Disney. So
there's also like, barely,
that woman?
other than what the football
Sure.
player, he's like the only white dude at this. I don't even think Peter's white in this show.
I don't know.
Yeah, what color is Peter?
It was like off-white.
He's like a
In the very beginning,
olive Italian.
Aunt May puts cooked oatmeal into a plastic bag and gives it to him. I still don't understand why.
Well, and we
It's a
don't.
white person thing, Chrissy. You wouldn't get it.
So they basically
Out of a bag.
So they basically replaced Tony Stark with Norman Osborn. Norman Osborn figures out he's Spider-Man pretty quick. There's no Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben is long dead again.
Can we just also say he figures out Spider-Man who Spider-Man is because Peter's a retard. He decides to change, his outfit in a stairwell with a video camera right there. And it's like
But he's so smart.
Facility.
He's so smart that Norman Osborn wanted to work with him. So,
he's clearly an intelligent person.
Yeah.
Gets found out on his first day.
Well, you see that all the way through because he keeps going up to people and he's been specifically told, I need to speak to this guy, the CEO. And everyone's like, no, you don't need to. He's like, oh, okay, I don't need to then. If the CEO tells you to meet him immediately, be like, no, you need to phone him because he did. And he tells multiple people, they just laugh at him and he's like, oh, okay,
right.
I'm not going to, I'm Spider-Man, I'm just going to be a weak-willed little...
Yeah, no one was taking Peter Parker seriously there. Which...
Nobody takes
you
this
think he
show
would
seriously.
Push back on it.
It's got Amadeus Cho in it, the totally awesome Hulk, by the way.
It does.
It does.
Yeah.
It does have Amadeus Cho.
God.
It also has a Wakandan girl.
Yeah.
He has a one-armed black scientist.
That's the lizard.
Part.
That's the lizard. That is Kirk Connors. That is Dr. Kirk Connors, one of the Sinister Six. That is That is the lizard. And then
He looks a little different.
Rhino is going to be a female. Right. We're going to get a
So-
female Rhino in a later episode.
I guess they just changed Kurt Connors just a little bit.
Surprisingly, though,
Just a little bit. You know?
Just a
I'd
little
have to-
bit.
I'd have
Just a
to
little
find the
bit.
trailer, but surprisingly, Dr. Octopus looks like Dr. Octopus. He
Yeah.
looks like the 90s Doc Ock.
Daredevil.
Because, he's like fat, muscular.
Daredevil's in it, and it's voiced by Charlie Cox.
This
Really?
character...
Can we talk about the biggest bullshit part of this entire show?
Sure.
Why does a fucking quarterback have the number 36?
Yeah,
that
what
makes
the hell?
Zero fucking sense.
No, that makes all the sense in the world because there's a bunch of people who make this who have no life experience whatsoever.
Wait, why?
I don't know
why
what
is
that
that?
means.
Is that too high of a number for a quarterback?
Yes.
Quarterbacks
Quarterbacks are usually
usually
single digit or teens.
Okay.
There were times where it was like 22 or 21 way back in the day, early AFL days and NFL days, but
Back
no,
before the forward pass was invented.
pretty much, yeah. Yeah. But
But this character, Nico, is the most insufferable character in the show for me because she spends the entire time trying to basically harm Spider-Man by going, you shouldn't go for this job. You need to sit here and watch a football match. Then when he's at work, she's constantly harassing him, telling him he needs to leave to go to a party, constantly does it. And even when he was like, no, I'm late, I need to go to this, she pushes him down and like, no, you're staying here.
Leave that prestigious internship right now.
It's like, she wants to destroy his life, and that other woman came over to him, immediately cock blocked him. It was like, no, I'm going to get in the way of
that's
that.
because she has the hots for the same girl. She's
yeah.
Well, maybe she wants him to have a nice career then instead.
Quite heavily. One of the things that I forgot. Never mind. It'll come back to me.
This show isn't even like it is so nothing. The only reason I checked it out and made everybody check it out is because I like Spider-Man. I'm a big Spider-Man fan.
Yeah, he's my favorite
Yep.
comic book character.
And Disney, when they bought Marvel and when Marvel started making their own movies, even prior to Disney, it was, hey, we're getting away from Hollywood being embarrassed about the superhero. We might get some accurate costumes. We might get some accurate origins. And in phase 1, we got that. They did a pretty good job. Now we're back to 20 years ago where he's flipping around in this costume. Apparently he's not in the Spider-Man costume till much later in the series.
Yeah, that's like a hockey jersey.
They do everything out of order. They do everything wrong, and they have they do own all the comics that they could actually just adapt. But they dumb things down for kids. This is the thing where they dumb things down for kids. What was
Isn't there cursing in the show? That I could have sworn at one point the guy says shit like a couple times.
I don't remember.
I say shit in front of my kid all the time when he was little.
Yeah,
Disney Plus show? I mean,
I don't recall that.
I don't know. I don't think grooming kids is. I don't think saying shit is as bad as trying to groom kids. But that's me.
I agree.
I would say I'd have to go back and rewatch it, but that's never going to happen.
Yeah, that's like what was successful about X-Men 97, because it was based on the X-Men series from the 90s, which Spider-Man the animated series from the 90s
of a bunch of
what was successful.
Runs.
Yes, they just used the greatest hits of a bunch of great comic book runs and adapted them. That's all they did.
Yeah.
That's why they were successful.
Imagine that. It was great.
Crazy. That X-Men cartoon sold so many fucking X-Men comics, dude. It made so many X-Men fans back in the 90s. It helped it be the best-selling comic book for decades. But
I think we talked about this before when we first started talking about the show. Peter Parker, the design of Peter Parker, I don't have a problem with. I think it looks like Peter from the old cartoon, old comics and the old cartoon.
Yeah,
like it looks good. Peter himself looks good. That's the only thing.
Only one. Everything else.
Everything
but this
else
animation
horrible, and it's
look at awful animation.
Look at the dude on the right.
That's because Sony. It's legally. We've said it before. They are legally bound to make Peter Parker look like Peter Parker and be straight and white. That's a legal thing. If it wasn't, he would also be race swapped and changed and just like everything else.
Well, that's why they're race and gender swapping everybody else.
Everything else.
And it's always the same thing. Why does it matter? Why are you like whatever?
Because
here's the thing. This is my belief of what we're going to see. I think that Dr. Connors, instead of the Dr. Connors origin story, right? I think it's just going to be this entire freak accident or something's forced upon her that ends up turning her into a lizard and nothing's her fucking fault, right? I think that's going to be the story instead of what we typically see for lizard.
Or it'll be some external pressure.
Something like this. Yes. Yeah. It's not going to be her fault that, this thing ends up happening to her.
What will they do with Norman Osborn then? You think he's gonna like somehow be forced to be the way he is? Because he is a tremendous piece of shit.
I don't think that Norman Osborn is going to be as bad of a person as we see in the comics sometimes. I don't think we're going to see Black Norman Osborn raping anyone. Somehow I don't think that's going to be the case. But
there you go.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe they'll go all hardcore.
We'll see or we won't. Because it's just...
we'll see.
The good news, Gary, I don't know if you knew this, but Nick Spencer retconned that rape scene out.
Oh, good.
So the sex between that never made any sense. That was retconned out.
So it's a rape con. Oh, shucks.
That's actually a furry con.
I'm pretty sure
we can move.
So they did something good, and then they made Spider-Man a cuck. In the next
we can move past.
Guy.
The only thing I want to really talk about is the theme song. What's up, my neighbors? What's up, my neighbors?
The moment that came in the intro, I don't like that black music they played. That's what Odin said.
It's true. I didn't like that rap music.
No, it was just the clever use of the word, neighbor in it, which was just.
I thought it was in the. I was in the '90s again. Another cheesy rap song.
Well, you see, there's black people in the show, so.
Oh yeah, we got to have that hip hop song.
That's
true.
The hip hop.
I wonder if the lyrics were by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I hope so.
Yeah.
On that subject, Captain America 4, Captain Anti-American, Captain Anti-America, Captain Un-American, Captain African American. Anthony Mackie put his foot in his mouth in Italy, and kind of apologized. Not the first time. Kind of apologized. Got a lot of heat. Probably got a phone call from Disney.
So, just on that real quick, he didn't apologize for anything. He didn't. He also didn't say that he thinks America is part of Captain America's character. He simply said, "Hey, just want everybody to know, I'm a proud American. Being Cap is the honor of my life. I love the troops, by the way.
Support the troops."
That's what he said.
What the hell was?
He addressed nothing about the comment itself.
No.
I don't think Anthony Mackie is very smart. I think that's the main thing. I don't think he meant what he said here. I think that was a complete flub. I understand anybody that has a problem with that. Like that is what he literally said. He literally said like America should not be. Those are the words that came out of his mouth. If you're pissed about that, totally understandable. I get it. It pisses me off when he's promoting Captain fucking America. But Anthony Mackie has a track record of saying dumb shit all the time and kind of toting the line of whatever the publicist wants him to say. So he doesn't really have opinions of his own. I don't think this is his opinion. I think he was in Italy or whatever, and he was trying to make some point. And then, literally after he says this, he goes on to some weird analogy about what acting is and how this movie was him trying to get to the place of pretending.
I feel like he was trying
it was
to.
The weirdest thing.
No, he knew he said something.
I feel like he was trying to describe the American dream without calling it the American dream.
Yes, well, that's
strange.
He clearly knew he fucked up, and then tried to talk his way out of it at the end, and it
all word salad.
It was a word salad.
Yeah. When what he should have done is just said, I didn't mean that. I meant
terrible.
It's not the only thing that Captain America means to me. Of course, it means America, but it's also this and that and that and this. But the way he said it, and then he just tried to get out of it in the worst way. And it just made him look like an idiot.
This is how he's always argued. He will say a quote that nobody disagrees with, and then immediately contradict it and bend it to something that's advantageous for him. There was a quote of him going, "I think we should hire the best people for the job. You know, the 2 best white people, the 2 best black people, the 2 best women, the 2 best this." I was like, that's not what that means.
Yeah.
But people clip the first bit and go, "See, he said nothing wrong." And then in the last bit, he's like, "Well, that bit benefits me, and I can push it this way." I don't think he's stupid. If anything, that's manipulative. Because you're speaking out of both sides of your mouth to always give you the advantage in any situation.
Well,
and then when he's talking to someone about BLM, suddenly he's talking about, "Well, I have to warn my kids that they're going to walk down the street and get harassed." And it's like, this isn't... This guy knows what he's saying.
Where? In Beverly Hills?
Where are they walking? Yeah.
In Palisades when it existed? I mean,
remember in Falcon and the Winter Soldier when they were in the projects in Baltimore and the cops found it suspicious that a black man was walking on the street?
I don't have ID.
In Baltimore. They'd be more likely to go up to Bucky and be like, "Hey, bro, you got to get the fuck out of here, man."
This is a sequel to a show where Captain America said we can't use the term terrorist anymore. By the way, Falcon and Winter Soldier was BLM Antifa, the TV show. That's what it was.
Yeah.
You need to do better.
Post the blip,
Wow.
it was a bunch of people who stole a bunch of shit, and when the people came back, they wanted their stuff back, and the people who stole it didn't want to give it back, so they started killing people. That's it. That's what the Flag Smashers were.
And it wasn't just that. It was also a series that was designed to tell you why Anthony Mackie deserves to be Captain America, to convince you that this is why. And I think he did a very poor job of that. Yeah. But that was the entire purpose for its existence.
Despite setting Bucky up through all 3 movies as Captain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And didn't they change that in the script? There's a story about him and Chris Evans about the Endgame script, and Chris Evans pulls him aside and he's like, "Did you see this rewrite?" And he's like, "No, what the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "You got the shield, man. It's gonna be you."
Oh,
he's told a story about that before, so I think they rewrote it.
Endgame was massively reshot, as probably all of you know. Go back and check on what the reported budget was for that Endgame. It's insane. Endgame might be one of the most expensive movies ever made because
it's
they
probably $400 million or something.
Yeah.
But when it makes $3 billion, whatever the fuck it made, is what it is.
Yeah, it still made its money back, and it's all been downhill since then. So he put up his clarification. We can't really call it an apology. Don't call it an apology. And then you think it would kind of end, but it's still going. There's all the talk of Red Hulk being a stand-in for Trump. Right. And they were, we'll get to that in just a second. Anthony Mackie clarifies Captain America comment amid backlash. "I'm a proud American." Didn't sound like it.
What was his actual first comment where he said something about,
He said that Captain America represents a lot of things, and he doesn't think America should be one of them. And he said, "I don't think America should be one of them."
The character with the name America and his costume is the colors of the flag, and his weapon is also the color of the flag. But not an important aspect.
No, I meant to say I'm a proud African American. That's what I meant.
So look, he's in a different country. He's in Europe. I think he's in Italy, right? Trying to promote it to.
Yeah, he's in Rome. He's in Rome.
So there are a ton of ways to promote this movie and connect Captain America to America without saying you have to be American to understand it, or there's no universal values, it's only American. And also there are ways to do it without indicating that you agree with everything that America is or has been doing at any given point in time. The reason that these answers are the way that they are is because regardless of whatever Anthony Mackie's personal opinions are, if you take him at his word about being a proud American, if you don't, regardless of what those are, everybody surrounding Hollywood and Disney and the MCU and all the writers, producers, all the people involved with this project, they hate everything America has represented. They hate what it represents now. So of course they don't want to connect it to that. But over the course of time, the entire time that Captain America is being published in the comic books, guess what? Every 4 or 8 years, there's going to be somebody different in the White House with a different opinion. Your guy might not be there. Your guy might be there, whatever. That's not what Captain America is about. It's not who is currently there. That's what it represents. It represents the American dream, the American spirit, and American values. And there's 100 times in the comic books where Captain America has gone against the government of America.
You don't
even quit being Captain America at one point and he became U.S. agent.
Yeah. Yes. So, like, there are a lot of different ways to talk
Nomad.
about this, answer that.
Nomad.
Yeah.
There are a lot of different ways to talk about this and answer this question while saying, you know, everybody's obviously all crazy about every different political thing that's happening right now, but Captain America is about the American spirit. He's about traditional American values. And that doesn't just resonate with Americans. It obviously resonates with people all over the world. And
I'm
then
Australian,
you get into
and
what
I friggin'
you view, like the integrity, the honesty. Like,
Well,
that's all you have to say. And no one is going to think that, oh, that means that you support Trump. No one.
I really don't think that there's a controversy with it because all of the movies have done well worldwide. Like
yes,
all
they do
the
better
Captain
They're
America
very
movies have done great internationally. It's a problem that didn't need to be addressed.
Oh, absolutely.
You're in Italy. Like, Italy is not enemies with America. They don't like, and it's called Captain America in the first place. Why are you trying to? They can read the movie title. They're not stupid. You don't have to distance yourself from it. And I think there is a difference between being a proud American, which means you're a member of a nation and you like the Constitution or whatever, compared to being proud of America, which is all
or
of the
whatever.
Just a document.
Or whatever.
It was
That's such a British thing.
Said by a true Brit.
We made that thing, motherfucker.
The reason why I say that is because there was a Marvel London editor who was talking to America about Captain Britain. He said this was a mistake because your flag, your nation has an ideology behind it, ours doesn't. But yeah, because we have a people, it's the English that carry on the English culture, and so we don't need an ideology for the flag. But it does mean there is a difference between the ideology of America and the people of America. And so when you say, I'm a proud American, you mean I stand and I believe in these values, rather than I like the people in it, and I like the people and the culture of the nation. So when all those people have just voted for someone you really don't like, I can really understand you want to distance yourself from that, but that shouldn't be to do with your movie.
No,
I mean,
I will also say that, you know, the origin of Captain America and how we saw him fighting the Axis powers in World War II. Maybe Italy, maybe it had some connection there. Maybe that's why he said that. I don't know.
Well, what was going around on Twitter yesterday? People were surprised that Captain America killed people. Captain America does not have a no-kill rule at all.
He's a fucking soldier.
He fought in a war.
Yeah, it's American.
Yeah,
Sure, he's killed plenty of Nazis and Italians in his
yeah.
day. Probably some Japs too.
Now they retconned.
Caps.
They retconned like Bucky would do some of the darker stuff that even Cap wouldn't do without his knowledge. So Bucky would go.
Is it a Captain America or a Superman comic where there's like something that's like you can slap a Jap?
Slap a Jap. Superman says it's
Slap a
okay.
Jap.
Oh, dude, I have been. That's been my gold mine.
that issue.
I have been collecting all the politically incorrect comics from the 40s and the 50s. They're fucking great. Oh my god.
There's actually in the World War II museum. There's a
We were
World
in
War
a
II
war,
museum down in Louisiana, New Orleans, and I'm pretty sure they have that panel. And it's in their
There you
example of like Japanese hatred or Japanese bigotry.
I don't know if you know history, but the Japanese culture was pretty bad at the time.
Yeah,
Not a good culture.
Look
Did a
at
lot
that
of
panel in the corner.
Hang on. I got to go grab a comic. I'm going to
Did
grab a
lot of
comic. Hang on.
torturing of other
Hang on.
Simpson.
Asians. So
But going back to Ryan's point he was making before, he's absolutely right. Like, I've loved Captain America my whole life. I'm not American, but it's the ideals, those principles of freedom that resonates with the audience. And also, America is a very important country for the rest of the world. All right.
I mean,
and so.
But this one isn't as bad. But it's Superman
I
coming
love that
out.
one too.
Coming through China.
Did he fly through the earth?
Yeah, he
Whoa
did.
there, Chinaman.
Dug a hole to China.
Is that a
Feel
Chinaman?
represented.
Hello,
Yes,
Chinaman.
Yes, these are Chinamen.
Yes,
hello, I got
Chinaman.
lost.
They look just like X-Ray Girl.
Oh, you're Mackin.
saying hello.
He's bowing too. Oh my
Something
God.
Oh.
Too low.
You're too low.
Too low.
No, it's just gotten worse. Dude, he got himself into it, and it was just one piece of the puzzle of Captain America, Brave New World. Like, it's a Captain America sequel without Captain America. It is a sequel to a horrible show that, if you watched it all the way through, fucking hates America. Not just trying to distance itself, because like the comic companies have always felt, especially recently with all the people who work there, especially all the fucking work girlfriend editors, trying to distance themselves from patriotism. And they've always felt guilty about that. So that's been going on for years and years and years. But Falcon and Winter Soldier should have never gotten it. Kevin Feige and Disney got caught up in the whole BLM thing, and they fast-tracked a sequel to a show that didn't even do that well. And then they were stuck with it. And it took them forever to make it. They've reshot it completely twice. They were still doing reshoots just in November. Trying to dial down the Red Hulk, any sniff of Red Hulk being related to Trump in any way.
Anthony Mackie said that that's normal, even though one of his co-stars said that there were significant reshoots, like he did everything twice, and then Seth Rollins is like, they cut me completely from the movie. But, this is all normal.
Totally normal.
It's all,
It's all
normal to
trying to minimize,
reshoot
because-
three acts of a movie.
Yeah,
Totally
because
normal.
it is true that every fucking Marvel movie goes through reshoots.
Yes.
100%. That is
Yeah.
a true statement. And you know what? In the past couple of years, a handful of them have been almost entirely reshot.
Yep.
But it is not normal.
It is not
It's
normal.
That's not
at all.
like, oh, we need to reshoot two
Maybe
scenes.
Marvel.
Well,
That's
only
pretty
100.
normal.
And the same-
not 3 acts of the fucking movie. That's
It's
not
only $180 million budget.
and then
bro.
cut out, and then reportedly cut out an entire act, because Captain America 4 was originally going to be 2.5 hours, then 2 hours and 15 minutes, and now it's under 2 hours. So, as reported with the Marvels, skating over thin ice. It looks like they're just trying to get this one out. And Marvel is trying to turn things around, but like, you have Spider-Man coming out, and you have Captain America 4 with all the news before Anthony Mackie said anything wasn't good. They had to go out and lie about their fucking budget so they can hedge their bets and go, well, if it made $500 million worldwide, we made money back. When we know that's just not true. It's just not true. But the trades will report it. People will believe it. It's this stupid thing. And just put your movie out, let it flop. Internally, they don't feel good about this movie. All right? They
That's
had to
why
reshoot it.
Mackie's comments were so funny when he went, it's the best movie it'll be. It's kind of just like, look, we've tried everything, man.
Really?
We've reshot it every time. It's not going to get any
polishing
better. Look, this is it.
That's an accurate statement. That's what I heard, that like, it's better than the one you were going to see.
I don't know what else you expect of me, bro. It's kind of the attitude.
Oh, well.
Find that article. Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, it's Rachel.
Rachel.
It's Rachel back.
Oh,
Back
Miss
again.
Piggy.
So
He's
excited.
back.
If you have to remind people, maybe it's not the case. Just saying.
I would say it doesn't matter how much the price of food and groceries goes up. Rachel Leichman keeps getting fucking fatter.
There you go.
She still have that septum ring?
I don't know.
Gross.
I doubt she's put a current picture of herself on the internet lately. So,
She reminds me of a pig.
well,
This article would have carried a lot more weight if Sam Wilson hadn't just come out and gone, this doesn't represent America.
yeah.
At best, he's just captain now.
Yeah.
So
Sam Wilson is Captain America, and he's a damn good one at that. Well, we'll find out. We haven't seen him as Captain America yet, really.
We saw 5 minutes of him
Yes.
as Captain America. At the end of the show, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
You got to do better.
We saw more of John Walker as Captain America than we saw Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
And
It's
John
tough to
Walker is
tell-
more of a Captain America than Sam
It's
Wilson.
tough to tell if
ever
he's
will
a
be.
good Captain America in the comics, too, because his comic always gets canceled.
Yep.
This coming
Tough.
from the woman that loves the Acolyte, by the way.
Ugh.
Just,
To be
Not as
fair,
much
she
as
is
her
the target
refrigerator.
audience. Like, if you had to pick out of a crowd a lover of the Acolyte, you would pick Rachel.
it
So
would, yeah.
that is who it was made for.
Yes. Yes. And you know what? It had a very passionate 5s and 10s of passionate fans that did love the Acolyte. It wasn't enough. The worst guys on the internet are back yelling about Anthony Mackie, mainly because he tried to point out that Captain America is a symbol bigger than just a patriotic icon for Americans. Is
That's
that what
not
he
what
said?
he said, though.
It's not what he
That's
said.
not what he said.
At all. At all.
Yeah,
Like worst guys on the internet?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
you
not
could
everybody.
say that's not
There
what
are,
I meant.
there are scammers out there. There are
Yeah.
people taking advantage of others, but not like
Basically,
commentators on the
everybody is on the
internet.
internet.
The worst.
Yeah, and some of us aren't guys.
Yeah.
Is this
Yeah.
an attempt at blacksplaining?
Hold on a second. Those
not
those
black.
people committing fraud, they don't criticize black characters though. So
This is fake geek girl splaining. Okay.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that Doctor Who collection. Show me any day now, Rachel. Any day now. I asked her to show the long boxes. I don't know if we've gotten a response yet.
you'll never get it.
No. I have to clarify.
Yeah, let me check real quick. No.
I don't have that many long boxes either. I went to short boxes after moving because fuck, holy shit.
Yeah, the long ones are like you almost
They're
have
a pain
to
in
have
the
two
ass.
people.
Get heavy.
How long is a long
Yeah.
box?
Well,
Like,
What would you think? How long do you think, Chrissy? How long is your box?
I would say, I don't know, longer than your arms out both ways.
Jesus.
That is a really long box. isn't it?
That's a massive
that's actually pretty close to how long they are.
That's
Really?
a cavernous box.
And like just look at the quote and you can see the reason that this came across the way it did is because he said it this way. It's not that he was trying to say, oh, well, he's more than just a patriotic symbol. He's more than just America. No, it shouldn't represent America. America shouldn't be one of those things. It's not that he said there are a bunch of universal values in addition to the America stuff. It is that he said the exact opposite of that. He said
Yes.
America shouldn't be one of those things.
Yeah, and it comes off like it's actually not American if you keep your word, dignity, and integrity. It's like, wow. Wow.
It's a weird attitude of Hollywood, though, because they're not patriotic and they hate patriotism. They think everyone else around the world does as well.
Exactly.
And they don't realize that
Yeah.
if you're patriotic about your country, you actually understand and like people who are patriotic about theirs because you think it's normal.
They want everything to reflect
It is
the Los
normal.
Angeles that they live
it
in
is,
today.
yes.
Yes, absolutely. Scroll down. I don't want to read this whole article because she is functionally retarded, but let's go down where she calls me a racist.
let's see, where are
There
we?
it is, right?
There you go, yeah.
There we go, right there.
The
Okay.
worst people on the
Oh,
internet.
Go
There
up
he
a little
is.
bit more because I really want to get that.
Men like Nerdrotic.
It's
You know,
the
she was
same.
seething when she wrote this.
Oh my god.
She's just all
Oh, God. He's the racist.
fuckers.
Racist.
Wow.
He gets more attention than me.
You're famous.
Oh, she takes up more space than me. So there you go.
It's true.
I wonder how old she
Morbidly
is.
brave.
I could probably take up smoking again and beat her in a race. And I'm probably like 30 years older than her. Men like Nerdrotic who refuse to use brain cells. Listen, I burned them, okay? I burned those brain cells on purpose.
Look,
You know,
he would
I
use
think
Way
them.
more use out of mine.
That is
He's
ableist
just-
of her. That is ableist of her. He's not refusing to use brain cells. He just has so few less.
Yeah, give me a
All the
break.
ones you have.
That's just.
I'm doing
I'm
the best I
surprised she's
can,
admitting-
okay?
I'm surprised she's admitting that you have any brain cells.
That's
actually
true.
A compliment.
Sounds
Hey.
like she has a
Yeah.
crush.
Yeah, well, that's how I found out. I got a message going, your stalker is back. And I'm like, oh, all right. When interacting, can I get better stalkers? Maybe. When interacting with
Aw.
media, took Mackie's words and tried to put a spin on them. What's the spin?
No,
Okay, wait. He wrote.
You took them literally.
Yeah.
Whereas they're trying to spin an excuse. There's a difference.
But I just pointed out an objective truth. There is no Captain America in the Captain America sequel. If you go around the world, you go to Italy, you go, who's Captain America? They're going to go Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers. You know what? Anecdotally, went to the UK last year, saw a bunch of kids running around. They were wearing Captain America shirts. We were in the middle of fucking nowhere, Peru. Garrett, remember I pointed it out to you. I'm like, look at what those kids are wearing. Captain America shirts, not Star Wars shirts, not Captain America shirts. It was cool. This is what happens when you don't have Captain America in your Captain America sequel. That's all I pointed out. It's true. Captain America Brave New World does have Captain America in it. And that Captain America is Sam Wilson. And he's going to be great.
Was it trying to convince yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm convinced now.
The title is not specific to only Steve Rogers. True. But I don't know. How long was Steve Rogers Captain America before they changed him for the first time, which was, well, it depends on the retcon. But it's 85 years he's been around. 85 years, and the vast majority of it is Steve Rogers. Every time they go to a John Walker, and they want to make him Captain America, or they go to a Bucky, which was a great run, by the way. I recommend.
One of the best.
Freaking amazing run. Which didn't get canceled, by the way. Sales went up in my store, and people were going, I'm cool if Bucky stays. People who were pissed Bucky was back within a year were like, I'm cool if he stays Captain America. Hardcore comic book fans. And then they bring Sam Wilson in the all new, all different era Flash. And what kept happening? Please remind me. What kept happening in those comic books?
They kept getting canceled.
That's right.
Over and over and over again. Just like Captain Marvel. Canceled all the time. Miss Marvel, canceled all the time. Have to always go back to a number one, and for some reason, retarded people keep buying number ones. I'll never understand why that happens. It's not even real number one, but whatever.
The thing is, as well, even if you don't take the comics, you just take the modern movies, which is the only exposure that most of the a normie audience like me have to him. He's obviously Steve Rogers because he's the only one there's been, and so when you change him, you have to actually win over the audience and prove that he can be Captain America before he is. I remember when Eccleston stopped being Doctor Who, because I started Doctor Who with the modern stuff. I was like, the next one's going to be crap. There's no way he's living up to him. And Tennant won me over, and then he became my favorite Doctor.
Exactly.
It is up to the actor and the script and the movies to make him Captain America. You don't just go, oh yeah, I'll just believe whatever I'm told.
And the issue at play here, just right on that point, Disparu, is that most people haven't seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And even I have seen it, felt like Falcon did not earn that title. He does not feel like Captain America at all. And so when I look at him, it just feels like an imposter. This isn't Captain America to me. And so that's one of the big issues that they're going to be trying to deal with, because most people, they haven't even seen that, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They're just coming in, oh, it's this guy. And what was interesting, even in Falcon and Winter Soldier, the character himself in universe felt he was unworthy of it. And it's like it's almost like they had, to acknowledge that even they knew that this guy isn't up to the task, and then they just didn't pull it off.
Because he was unworthy in context of the movies. In the movie, it randomly gives it to him. Like, it makes no sense.
We shall continue. He is Sam Wilson. In fact, the true first Captain America was Isaiah Bradley before Steve Rogers in the comics. Except that comic came out in 2003. It was written by activist artist Kyle Baker, and it was based on the Tuskegee experiments.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Captain Syphilis.
There you go. So that was a major retcon done in modern time. Well, to me, it's modern times. I'm old. But she probably didn't read it. She probably read that on Wikipedia, Flash, like most fake geek girls too. I actually sold that fucking comic. Sorry, but I did.
People bought it?
Oh, like 5s and 10s. 5s and 10s of people bought it. And they were mostly the professors from San Francisco State who worked about a mile away from
a lot of them. That's why I like to call them wiki fans, because they'll see this new character, all rush to Wikipedia, and they're going, "Oh, you don't know the character," and you could tell if you go and look, even what they're sharing comes directly from Wikipedia too. They're the real fans.
But you know what they keep coming back to? Steve Rogers. Every time they try to replace him, they have to bring him back because he's Captain America. And it would have been smarter just to recast the fucking role. That's what they should have done from the beginning. You can't have one role belong to one actor. The character is bigger than the actor. That's what's worked for used to work for Doctor Who, used to work for James Bond. But apparently men like Nerdrotic don't actually care about that. I don't care about shitty stories, no. But I did read it. Did you, Rachel? I have forgotten more fucking Captain America comics than you'll ever fucking read.
I find it so funny when these posers try and get into nerd fights with real nerds, and they get schooled every single time. It's just funny.
They think they know who Cap is.
No, the thing was with this media, the Mary Sue's been around a long time, and a lot of comic fans read it and pretended to like it so they could get laid. But now it's a corporate owned website. It has called me a racist. Okay, fine. And I don't care. I don't really care. Rachel Leishman is wider than she is tall, and that's a very sad way to go through life. Hopefully she doesn't have diabetes and goes on a diet. But
she'll be fine as long as she doesn't call a lift.
Yeah. They think they know who Cap is and will be loudly incorrect and racist just because. I might know who Cap is because I read a lot of comics. You know what? It's one of the few things I don't have a full run of because Golden Age Cap is fucking expensive. But I have a full Marvel run.
They're all expensive.
Yeah, I have a full Marvel run. And I have a lot of those Golden Age books.
He was there in 1943.
I was there when I bought it off the rack in 1941.
Off the spinner racks.
I remember when it only
Rachel's
cost
still
a nickel.
salty over
He
the
was
previous
reading it.
interaction.
You know what's weird is they retconned all the Cap fighting commies. Because he fought a lot of commies. Love those
Commie
covers.
Smasher.
Commie Smasher, Captain America. But we can move away. She's had enough attention.
Basically California.
But it's really interesting what seems to be their scale of what makes a person a true fan. And it's not love for the character. It's not how much you know the character or of, consume the media. It's if you swallow the current swill that is being pumped out. And if you reject the current crap, you're not a true fan now because
You're a
not in
racist,
line.
in fact.
Oh, in
Yeah.
fact, yeah.
See, I would have said, I would use another phrase maybe. I thought you were going there, Shad, when you said swallow. But yeah, I was going to say.
I thought you were talking about gaming.
Swallow the corporate cock, right? Then you're not a real fan. What do you mean?
I thought you were going to go
Sparkles.
even further and say
Sparkles.
the mom should have swallowed.
Yeah.
And in a serious
You didn't
note,
go that far.
what Ryan just said is true, and that worked for a long time. Like sites like the Mary Sue and others did have influence with these studios, and that's why they moved in this direction because that's what they thought fandom was. And they don't know this yet, but most of the people involved in these sites weren't fucking fans. They're a bunch of, you know what? You could be a new fan. I'm fine. We always bring in new fans. What fans were best at, what comic fans were best at, is being guides. Like guiding you in. A new person comes in the comic store and they're like, I want to know about Batman. There'll be 5 people. I don't even have to do any work. 5 customers in there will help them. Well, because they want to share this. They want to share the love. That's what it used to be until fucktards like Rachel Leishman came in and started being activists and started pushing the fan away who wouldn't look at the world like that. Listen. I don't want to add to her misery. She has to live her life as herself, and that's the worst punishment that God can do.
Hold on. She doesn't have to. There are options.
All right. You could go to Canada.
Canada
you can go to
has the fix
Bangkok
for depression.
or Lost Cock.
One of the best insults I ever heard was just, I wake up
Vagina
every day
teen
glad I'm
and-
not you.
But no,
Canada does have a 100% effective solution for depression.
they do.
And if you're poor. It's actually on the list.
That's true. Yeah, that's their solution for poverty, suicide.
People don't want you around anymore.
Awful.
It's better than
Terrible.
a bunch of homeless people around, to be honest.
God, I don't. No.
Everyone actually disagrees with me?
No, dude. No, that I was just thinking. The one thing I don't miss San Francisco at all in any way, shape, or form was anywhere I fucking went, I was getting hit up by some fentanyl zombie. Right?
Wow.
Fucking, they were fucking with my.
You remember when we went to go see Kurt Metzger in
Oh,
San Diego?
God.
We saw that homeless guy jacking off on the sidewalk.
Yes.
Like, was he looking at you or
Okay, so
Jack.
He didn't make eye
Did
contact.
he have like a couple of donations?
no, he was jacking off.
the same time.
When Melissa and I got out of the car, there was a dude fighting the invisible man. And I think he was winning, though. I think he was winning.
Good.
But that's nothing compared to what I saw in San Francisco. My first fucking day in San Francisco, there's a naked guy in a fucking unicycle flowing down the street. I don't even think he was homeless. I think that was a San Francisco resident. I think they actually had a home.
Well, I was gonna say there's two things you left out. One, the unicycle didn't have a seat.
Oh, wow.
And two, the man was Jeremy.
And the only time, like, you just ignore him most of the time, but the only time
How do you ignore a naked man on a unicycle?
I'm in a car. Like, I was drive away. I was in a
If
car.
you live in San Francisco, you have to figure out a way.
No, like, dudes.
You can't engage. You can't talk to them. You don't make eye contact. You just fucking pretend.
Well, no, because they'll stab you. They will fucking stab you. You don't want to like get engaged. The only time I really engaged was when somebody blew fucking meth or crack smoke in my kid's face.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's when we had a little bit of a problem. But like that, yeah. Otherwise, you just don't. It's best not to confront him because you can. I know a guy who tried to confront one and lost an eye because he got a wine bottle fucking smashed across his face.
Oh,
Because they're
Oh,
crazy
man.
for the
What
most
always
part.
amazes me about Ryan Long's comedy videos in New York is just people can do anything in the middle of the street and everyone just walks past if it's perfectly normal.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
nothing
yeah.
There was
shocks them anymore.
Oh, yeah.
There's a video going around today on X of some like two homeless people right on the train panel there for the subway, just going at it, doggy style.
And everybody's on their
Those
phone.
Where
Those
else do you
videos-
expect them to have sex?
Those videos.
Door
no,
opens
no,
up
just
and people
weird
just come out.
Were they
Like,
good
the
looking?
state of
they
New
did.
York. The state of New York is insane. Those videos come on. There was like a naked guy running around the street hitting people with a stick just
Yeah, his
yesterday.
stick was banging on everything.
It's like, what is happening in New York? It is
And that was in like
insane.
it looked like a nice
It's a
area
shit
around
show.
Manhattan too.
Yeah, it's a shit show.
Glad everyone agrees with my solution for the homeless population.
There you go. There you go. Could you find the article where
We used
Disney
to have a
can't escape the
solution.
culture
We would
war?
put them in insane asylums,
Mm-hmm.
psychiatric
Institutions.
hospitals, but
Well,
those all got shut down.
We
As
also
long as I don't want.
I didn't hear what you said,
I
Gabe.
don't want to use my tax money to pay for this bitch. Fuck that.
article on Disney and the culture war. Can't escape the culture war.
Hollywood Reporter.
Hollywood Reporter came out today.
I had like a million other articles. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, like institutions are going to be great, but they're going to be filled like instantly because we have opened our borders to a bunch of drugs. So it's 1,000 times worse. And Gavin Newsom, who's going to be a presidential candidate soon, he was giving homeless people cash money when I moved there. Like once a month, they get $400 cash. Crazy, insane.
And did any of them spend it on comic books?
No, no, they didn't.
No, mostly just rocks.
Oh, dude.
Unbelievable.
The worst part, Chrissy, we'll get to this in just a second, was 2 doors down from my store was some medical test company. So every Friday, all the homeless people hit the K line, came over there and got their $20 to be, shot up with something. And they'd always want to run in my store and look around. And, God.
Just
so
browsing.
like I couldn't have any of my employees working that day. I had to be in there.
What
that
if they
day.
came in and they're like, "Tell me what there is to know about Batman"?
I'd tell them.
Okay.
But they usually didn't. They couldn't make coherent. I couldn't hear that. Nothing. None of it was
Right.
coherent. So, Captain America: Brave New World shows that Disney can't escape the culture wars. Oh, imagine that. I wonder why. While the studio desperately tries to avoid politics, does it though?
I
Really?
mean, we've seen that new Spider-Man show. It didn't seem like that they were trying to avoid
The
it.
stars of the
This
upcoming.
is like wading into a field, a muddy field, and going, I
Well-
can't get out. I don't know how this happened.
Ryan,
The 2-minute scene where the black kid is followed by a super pale white cop for no reason.
Eyeing 'em up.
Definitely not woke messaging at all.
Ryan, you're kind of autistic. Please remind me, how many times did Bob Iger say we're going to move away from politics? How many years in a row? It was minimum 3.
Probably
Three
three.
at least.
It was pretty much as soon as he got reinstated as
Yep.
CEO, right? It was it National Review? It was somebody that used the same goddamn picture and virtually the same fucking headline 2 years apart.
Yes.
From Bob Iger stating that, you know, we really want to move away from the culture war. It was like the same fucking article a year apart. was wild.
And you know that their staff don't believe that when he says it, because when Chapek said it, and I actually did believe that he meant it, that he was going to do it, all the staff went on strike, they were outside campaigning, and then the next thing we get that sort of hostage video of him apologizing. So you see the difference in behavior between when the staff know there's changes coming and when they're just like, yeah, nothing's going to happen.
No.
And all of a sudden, Hollywood Reporter starts one. Oh my God, Hollywood Reporter!
Oh, it's annoying. Yeah.
Barely slips off of message. Now you're gonna say that they have a message? Where you been the last fucking?
I
4 or
thought
5
that didn't
years?
exist. I thought the
I thought it
culture
didn't
wars
happen.
didn't exist. I thought it was just a small number of racists.
There's
Wow.
no narratives in Hollywood.
Yeah, in Disney.
Yeah, good point. We found them. They're at Disney. The stars of the upcoming Captain America movie and the Spider-Man TV show are making waves for just barely slipping off message. Okay. That's a weird way to frame it.
Yeah,
I do
what message
agree
are they
that
referring
the
to?
Spider-Man
there?
TV show guy, that was a little off message to say this show wasn't annoying and woke when it very clearly is.
Yes.
That was a little off message. I agree.
Yeah, he missed boring. That's all he had to add was that. Depending on how you look at it, the quote was either totally innocuous or a major PR nightmare. I would say it was the latter. Innocuous or not, the quote could have been innocuous, but if you have to take into account everything that's come before it.
Yeah.
They have earned it.
That sentence is right? It depends on how much goodwill you have towards someone. It depends how much, benefit of the doubt and things like that. So it does depend on how you look at it. There's some people that don't think it was out of line. There's some people that think it was a fucking disaster. So I suppose that's true.
I think the benefit of the doubt, because I think it's like just. I don't think Captain America should represent just America would fix the sentence.
Correct.
So you could say like it was a slip of the tongue, but that's when you have to look at his history and what does he believe by what he said before, and then you find out, oh no, he just meant it. It's perfectly in line with everything else he said.
I mean, like, how hard is it to go? I love my country. It's awesome, but the people and the ideals represent so much more. It was so
There's a
easy.
million other ways
That's
to
what it
say
is.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
When Captain America Brave New World star Anthony Mackie was promoting Marvel, we all know what he said. We've gone on to go. I was more surprised that I'm like, man, this thing, you think they would tighten it up a little bit and just know this is a disaster. Let's run out there. November happened. The cultural shift has happened. Maybe we should just say, hey, we made the best movie we can. We got Red Hulk in it, guys.
That's why I think
For 5 minutes.
Yes.
That's why I don't think he meant that himself. I don't think he meant that because that would be the fucking dumbest thing to say right now. After the entire world said, fuck you, we don't care what celebrities say, we don't want to hear your garbage, and then to say that anyways, I feel like it's so dumb. But hey, he's an actor.
Yep.
So it's a possibility.
Mackie posted a clarification on Instagram faster than Cap hurling his shield. He folded faster than the president of Colombia. Let me be clear about this.
That was great.
He wrote Tuesday, I'm a proud American. Taking on the shield of a hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime. I have the utmost respect for the troops. Like, who brought up the troops?
Yeah, the statement was not. It actually didn't address what he said at all.
Yeah.
It didn't address what he said about the character of Captain America at all.
That's a
So
PR
it
statement.
really is just. It's one of those things where like everyone's booing all around you. Everyone's fucking booing a wrestler. He's like, "Hey, support our troops. God bless our troops." Right?
Yeah.
It has that type of energy.
I think it was only really put out like to run interference because all they have to do is put out a vague statement, and then if anyone complains afterwards, you get a load of people go, "He apologized. Look, he loves the troops," and then you start an argument about the troops rather than what was actually said in the first place. So they think, well, we've lost this. We're not going to get people back on side. We'll just throw out something for other people to use.
We can't scroll down. Chris Evans, who, famous patriot, loves America. Absolutely. Even with the clarification, the film has received backlash as some seek to brand the movie as the latest anti-American and woke garbage from Disney at a time when, ironically, CEO Bob Iger has made it clear for nearly a year that he'd prefer the company avoid any more culture war drama for the
Case closed.
for the 4th year in a row. I've said that.
Case closed.
Disregard
Enough
anything
said.
he actually does.
He can keep saying it until we see it, right, in action. And there's been a handful of things, right? We saw them remove all the trans shit from that children's Disney show from Pixar, and saw a lot of those employees freak out and things like that. There has been things where it looks like, hey, maybe there has been some internal communication to back off on this shit, back off on that shit, but it doesn't change what was said in this moment. And back to the Chris Evans statement, a lot of people are like, oh, weird how you guys didn't have the same energy when you mean in 2011? We didn't have the same energy. I'm sorry, I didn't have a YouTube channel then.
I was even making content.
Yeah, and we did talk about it in the comic store. You just weren't there, so too bad. So scroll down a little bit. There it goes. Yet Brave New World nonetheless provides an easy target. Yes, for those looking to read too much into things. Oh, we've been reading. So you just said they had a message, but now we're reading too much into things. Which one is it? And use the film for a metaphorical comparisons on both sides of the political spectrum. Something, Hollywood hasn't been doing that for the last 4 years at all. I'm sorry, 8 years. Forgive me, 8 years. As President Donald Trump hands out paradigm-shifting executive orders, Brave New World offers up Harrison Ford as a power-mad U.S. president who turns into Red Hulk, wrecking everything in sight. There's also an assassination attempt on Ford's character, which has been removed from the film's trailer and was removed in the film's trailer in July after the assassination attempt on Trump's life, one of multiple. The film was originally subtitled New World Order, and you can imagine how much fun the anti-globalist conspiracy crowd, because what a crazy conspiracy. Like the globalists.
It to Brave New World.
Yeah, Brave New World is like the same thing.
Which is hilarious. Which is hilarious, but like, yeah, that's a crazy globalist conspiracy. Nobody's doing that shit. That's nuts.
No.
So
WEF is totally a myth. It's all made up.
The beginning of the paragraph is like, why would people think this is some kind of allegory for President Trump? Also, he's the president, he's big red, and he's going to destroy everything.
Okay. The globalist conspiracy crowd would have had with that one. Oh wait, the problems for this movie get way. I don't. Do they bring it up, Ryan? I think they do. Sabra, basically
yes.
Captain Israel.
Captain Israel. Yeah, they're changing those origins. She's Russian now, right?
I think so, and she's Mossad and everything, and they took all that out because of the conflict. Another very ugly part of the Brave New World backlash is Mackie Sam Wilson's promotion to Captain America getting dubbed on X as DEI the movie.
Mackie,
it is
Anthony Mackie.
Not wrong.
Anthony Mackie is incredibly on board with DEI. He's spoken on before about how he wants DEI. He thinks they should be hired into multiple things, and how he thinks he can represent the entire world, unlike Chris Evans. So I don't know what the problem would be calling him a DEI hire. That's what he thinks that he should be.
I mean,
It's
can we be
DEI
honest?
personified in the movie. You had
that's
Bucky,
why-
which was the qualified sidekick that's been with him for like 80 years. All right. He's the guy who should have got it. And then you passed him over to give it to the black guy because you wanted to check the box. That is DEI.
So
exactly. That's what I was saying. It's like, can we just acknowledge that he got the role of Captain America because of the DEI policies?
Yeah.
It's affirmative
Mackie would
action.
agree with that.
An action.
And he's not going to complain about it, I guess, because it's a really big role.
Well,
for
let's
him.
go into thematically, like we've said 1,000 times at this point in the story. It would have been a better story to see Bucky become Captain America after all the
100%.
shit he went through. But no, we're just going to hand it over to Sam, who's got no superpowers, no super soldier serum, and they're going to fix that by having Wakanda, the ethno state that's behind a wall based, that let the rest of Africa starve. Gives them a magic suit. Great.
But not only that, Gary, think about the thematic kind of arc that puts Bucky on in terms of where he came from.
Yes.
And seeing him end up as Captain America.
It's a redemption.
It's
a redemption arc.
redemption story that
He's
would
the
have
prodigal
been
son
that
returning.
he has overcome such adversity and such a dark past to become Captain
So
friggin'
scroll down a little bit.
America.
So just
That would have been brilliant.
Now
particularly
he'll be in the Thunderbolts. It'll be fine.
I
particularly
really liked it in Star
go
Wars
up a little
when,
bit. Go hang on. Go up.
I liked it in Star Wars when Billy D. Williams became the Jedi Master. That was my favorite part of Star Wars.
Yeah. Particularly in the wake of Trump's anti-DEI rhetoric, by the way, his anti-DEI rhetoric is reactionary to the rhetoric that is like people have been over it for a long time, including a lot of people who work in Hollywood. They're so fucking happy it's gone. They're so fucking happy it's gone.
So are a lot of CEOs.
Yeah, the people who pay for everything. The actors aren't happy, but
people don't like being discriminated against. This may be news to them, but you can't just pick a group and then target them specifically.
You know, it turns
Maybe
out
that should be something you should be fighting against.
It turns out you can't fight discrimination with discrimination. Kind of weird how that works out. Steve Rogers fulfilling the arc, passing the shield to the logical successor, Mackie. Not at all. Like, not even in the least bit. If you don't watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, if you skip that, you're going to go, what? You know, it happened at the end of Endgame. By the way, this is after Captain America. Yes, I understand it's Haley Atwell's tits. I do get it, but he betrays. He just literally betrays everything his character is about at the end. I fucking hate the end. I hate what they did to Cap. I hate that Cap sat out the Kennedy assassinations, MLK's assassination, the Vietnam War, 9/11. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just sat all that shit out.
Those are some
Desert
big old
Storm,
fun bags, though. I mean, I would probably skip out too.
He's like, I can do
But
this
you're
all
not
day.
Cap.
I mean,
You're not Cap.
It's one of those things which we had a lot of in Endgame where
they're amazing.
where in the
They're
moment,
America's tit.
like in the moment, you feel great that he got a happy ending, right? That this character you've seen go through all this stuff. But then if
Literally.
you're driving home from the theater and you're processing what just happened, you're like, well, that doesn't make any fucking sense. He would never do that because of all the reasons we just listed. And I feel like that Endgame was that way to a lot of people, getting so caught up in the emotion of everything that had happened over a decade worth of storytelling and these characters, the end for some of these characters that you had seen. And but then once you have a chance to actually think about it without all of the emotional hype of a million people in the same theater cheering and screaming, you realize, oh God, there's a lot of fucking problems with it.
So they're going over Disney's recent problems with the culture war, which is something Disney decided to step into. Okay. They got involved in fucking state politics. They got involved in wanting to teach kindergartners sex fucking ed. So they decided to do this. They decided to have their not so secret gay agenda. This has all been exposed. So now they're like, oh, we're so sorry. Now that we're losing money and our brand is going to shit, go down to Snow White. So they go over what the actor said in Spider-Man, which we already talked about. So the Snow White trailer reached 1 million downvotes. That's amazing. That's great. Well done.
Yeah, both trailers are now, right?
I think so. I can't remember. Did Rings of Power season 1 get to 1 million? I think it did.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it did.
Or something.
Yeah, and they removed some, by the way, because I remember when it hit 1.3 and then they popped it back down to 800. And
remember Little Mermaid was at like 3 million or some shit like that.
Yeah. So,
but it was like 3 million dislikes and 1 million likes.
And 1 million likes.
So obviously a massive ratio, but still 1 million people that liked that. Rachel Zegler, the recent Snow White trailer, has 1 million dislikes and 40,000 likes. It's a 96% dislike ratio.
Yeah.
That's fucking bad.
Go check out Drinker's video.
Is that the one where we learn?
Go check out Drinker's short. It's like 4 minutes long.
Is that the trailer where we learn that the mirror now looks at internal beauty?
Who's the fairest?
You'd still be wrong.
Oh yeah, because it's like, look, I know.
Yeah,
you're
the
most
international
attractive,
trailer goes over what the mirror actually looks like and says it's looking at the growing internal beauty of Snow
then
White.
Rachel Zegler would really lose. Okay, are you fucking kidding me? Get the fuck out of here. So, sorry, I lost my spot. And speaking of the failure, speaking of a failure to read, and speaking of a failure to stay on talking points, right around the corner is the juiciest culture war target of them all, the live action Snow White. That comes out a month after.
I agree.
I agree too. I
excited.
completely agree. It comes out a month after Captain African American, and that's on March 21st.
Oh,
March
that's
21st.
International Women's Month.
International Women's Month. Yeah. Well, Jeremy's birthday is on International Women's Day. which is
makes sense.
Star Rachel Zegler's comments, such as these, and we all know what they are, about the original film and characters and politics have so continuously enraged conservatives. No, everybody. Everybody. Disney fans, Disney adults, they've pissed off everybody.
Maybe they've continuously enraged people because there's so many of them.
Yes.
Even your own links had to go these and these and these and these. And it's like
that you can hyperlink a paragraph right here.
I wonder if the executives looked at that Y2K movie's return and got spooked, because that movie, boy oh boy, for like a big name where people will line up to watch her, that movie had a spectacular train wreck for a box office.
So yeah. Most of her movies have.
Yeah, but that was that
was
I
bad.
mean, what did
That
it
was
make?
bad.
$3 million total or something?
Oh my God.
It was really bad.
Amelia Perez made more money than that. It wasn't even released in America. Conservatives over the last year that one suspects she's secretly shorting the Disney stock, which is kind of funny.
That would be amazing.
That's kind of funny. That was funny.
That would be
Hollywood Reporter.
Right.
I like that. Which brings us back to Brave. No, I don't want to go back to Brave New World. Let's go. So there was a video that came out, and everybody's seen the million. That's
this is great.
so this is where Perry got the Ryan forehead video. These guys are freaking great. Please give them a
binged
sub.
the entire channel after the
Sniper's dream comment.
Well, the previous
That's Sniper's dream comment.
the chat music's previous. This is the second one. The previous one. How many views are on that video?
Probably close to 3 million now.
Wow.
That's
They dropped
insane.
Part 3 today.
So by popular demand, you demanded this. We're gonna watch the second one. Let's go.
It's okay, Disney, you can just...
Let me switch out. Hold on.
What?
I'm switching out of your account.
He's transitioning.
Yeah, I watched Amelia Perez and it was inspiring.
Making a musical.
Let's do it.
Don't want to put that on Gary's
It's
watch.
okay, Disney, you can just cancel the film. We won't be mad if you admit to be even not the real
We can't see
Wait,
the
we need to
comments.
see the comments.
Go to the side.
There we go.
Yeah, start over.
We're gonna do
Garrett.
it.
You fucking suck at this, man.
Fucking
Stop. Start it over. Start it over. Stop.
I did start it over.
Started it over.
Oh, this is great.
Your
They're
favorite
great.
DEI
They're great.
hires.
I have the best diversity hires. Let's go.
It's okay, Disney, you can just cancel the film. We won't be mad if you admit to be even not the builder can fix this. Disney achieved the closest thing to all these by releasing something we all collectively hate. I mean, why is there an earthquake here? It's all Disney rolling in his grave. Nobody has ever rooted for a poison apple until this movie. Hi-ho, it's off to work, we know. They made a movie nobody's going to pirate. It's gonna be making Rapunzel fall. Screaming in the Disney fall. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the bitchiest of them all? Mirror, mirror on the wall, whose acting career is about to fall. Rachel Zegler is her name. This monstrosity will be her only fame.
Yeah.
Show this to my friend before he skydived and he jumped out the plane with no parachute. This one's look like the cake from Chernobyl. The movie looked like a Vincent Van Gogh painting. Disney, you're the world's best at destroying childhood dreams. Is Disney aware that Snow White is supposed to be more beautiful than the evil queen? Evil queen.
It's Hollywood, baby.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. No one's gonna watch this movie at all.
Weird.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Just how far will Disney fall?
Weird.
Hey, look, as
Poor Rachel.
first one's better. That was pretty good. First one's better. They're great. Go chat music. Go check them out.
They did one about I think it was the James Bond guy that was released with the big ear. No, it was a different guy with massive ears, but I used it for the James Bond guy, and that one's amazing. It is literally like one clap and he's done.
Well, speaking of transitioning, Garrett was ready. Garrett was ready.
Wow.
I'm gonna fucking roast this show.
Okay.
Movie.
So, Emelia Perez came out November 1st. November 1st. Flew under the radar. Everybody saw that clip going around. I didn't make the connection. I don't know about you. And then I started hearing like this Emelia Perez is winning awards. And I'm like, and then Chris told me it's that movie. I'm like, no, it's fucking not. Bullshit. That's the one with the shitty clip, right? And it was. And I'm like, what the fuck? So after it won awards and then was nominated for 13 Oscars, I'm like, God damn it, I have to watch this. I have to see like what the hell is going on. So just to give you, it has the same Oscar nominations as Return of the King, Gone with the Wind.
It's got more. More nominations.
Return of the King had 13.
13.
Sorry, Return of the King had 11.
No, Return of the King had
13.
Fellowship had 13. My bad.
Yeah.
So
it's truly a cultural moment.
There's only 3 movies that have more Academy Award nominations, and they are All About Eve, right?
Titanic.
Titanic and Oppenheimer, I think.
Oppenheimer had 13.
13.
As well.
So it's tied with Oppenheimer. There's one more. I can't remember what it is.
It's tied
does
with
it be-
Gone with the Wind.
I can't. Like, if you could have.
I hope this movie wins every single nomination.
Well, that's the thing. Does it be
here,
Wicked
man.
because it can be nominated for Best Man and Best Woman? Is that why? It's
Right.
My
It's a sweep.
dude, like at least in Wicked, people can sing. Like this, the musical bits make no fucking sense, and just like
Well, that clip you were talking about, I remember when I saw that, I thought it was like a Babylon Bee type of parody, fake bullshit thing. And then I found out it was
Real.
What a joke.
that was
This is
the
how
thing
you
about the
know they're going for this because of all of those regulations they put on themselves.
Mhm.
That's
Right.
why this has got so many, because I mean they can't give it to anything else.
Also,
Well,
La
no,
La
they-
Land was the other film.
Yes,
with
thank you.
14, yeah, back in 2016.
I actually, so when you look at what some of the requirements are for these nominations, it's not as crazy as we may think, because it doesn't actually even fucking matter what's on screen sometimes. All it takes is a fucking couple editors here or a couple random people here, and you can get like for those rules. And the craziest ones are just for Best Picture, not for the vast majority of other things.
Okay.
This is a statement from the entertainment industry. The
Yep.
reason this thing got nominated is because of all the trans representation. That's why this is happening. And it's wild to follow up something like Oppenheimer, which
Most
not only was
important
commercially successful,
subject
but
in the
audiences
world.
really liked and all this stuff, with this one being the top dog. And the fact that, like Denis Villeneuve doesn't even get nominated for Best Director, but this dude does for Emelia Perez. It's crazy.
And think about
It
that.
just seems
think about
like
the actress who got kicked out of Best Actress for this dude.
Probably Nicole Kidman.
Probably.
It just seems like a real overcorrection when there was a whole Oscars so white drama and everything. So like, okay, we're going to do diversity and representation, whatever. But then you have this and you make it the top one. You could have given it a few so that people couldn't complain. You wouldn't be in the newspaper titles or anything. Going this over the top makes it a story in itself. And if you make something crap with the most Oscars ever kind of thing, it really makes it like it destroys your entire awards because nobody respects your opinion about movies anymore.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah,
actually,
What's the point of having it?
it actually was Pamela Anderson was a name that was being thrown
yes,
around a lot.
yes, the Last Showgirl.
And Last
heard she was
Showgirl,
great in
and she didn't get in because a man had to get it.
You know, like if anything could personify the state of Hollywood, this is perfect for it. And it goes to show, like, how much have they changed if they're, have that mindset?
Well,
to award this film?
Exactly. And the Oscar voting ended January. I think they extend the deadline of 15th or 17th. Right?
So actually, look
for nominations.
So after the nominations, in between when they vote for the actual winners, there's a several weeks period. So no one's actually voted for it yet.
No, so the winners are like it hasn't been voted on, and I want you to put a pin in that and keep that in mind. Okay, so it happened in January, and it was absolutely political. We're going to stick it to the man, and it being okay. Having seen it, it shouldn't be nominated for one. This is like Has anybody anybody here on the panel seen Repo the Genetic Opera?
Yes.
No.
I have.
Okay. It's like giving Repo the Genetic Opera 13 Academy Awards, which is a better movie, by the way. It's got Giles in it. It's a much better movie. Like Rocky Horror is 1,000 times better than this. It has more meaning. It has better messaging in it. It explores more themes.
Singing's better.
Yeah, the music's a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
But nobody would expect Rocky Horror to win or be nominated for 13 Academy Awards. That's the big story. This is a B movie. This is a French director who labeled himself a renegade director. It's a bad John Waters movie. It's a bad movie. The clip you saw, which is cringe as hell, is actually that in the synchronized gun loading. If you're a 2A fan, that might be the only thing that breaks the monotony of like morally, it's all over the place. I don't even know what the hell they're trying to say. There's supposed to be a redemption story, and quite frankly, Gascon is better as a dude. He's better in the movie as a dude. He's much more menacing as a cartel leader, oh God. So
I like how they put a bunch of makeup, like VFX makeup, on her to try to be like, well, we can't. I mean, it's got to look like a man. Otherwise, it would look like a woman.
So Zoe Saldana, who's a good actress, right, does the best job she can, but she's a fucking idiot in the movie. Like they try to make her this like really strong moral character who lets a husband get off of murdering his wife by framing it as a suicide in the beginning. And we're supposed to, and she feels really bad about it, but she does it.
Oh,
but she feels really bad
romantic.
about it.
Yeah.
And the big redemption arc is reuniting family members with the corpses of their families that were killed by cartel members that they had to literally dig up in the middle of the fucking desert. And they're like, and then there's a scene where it's in my video where she's like, I can love myself now. It's like, what? What the hell?
Well, it's like baptism. Once you become trans, like all of your sins are washed away now.
Well,
you're automatically the greatest and most virtuous person in the world.
No, it's your meme again. The moment you transition, the punching the flies.
Oh, doggy.
Accountability.
Odin's favorite part will be the end when they put her in the Jesus Christ pose and they're worshiping her down. There's a parade.
I've seen that clip.
Yes, they should.
Yeah.
And it's not even just that. It's actually they take and borrow from like Mexican culture where they have images of Mary. Yeah. And Mary is on these floats and they'll carry them in these processions. So it is absolutely meant to be a just complete knock against Christianity in that way.
Of course. The one religion you're allowed to joke on.
Because you'll be forgiven.
The thing about nominating something like this, you could understand it if you were in a country that was incredibly oppressive and it wouldn't allow you to speak, talk about this stuff, and you knew that you had the undercurrent of the country, but none of you were allowed to say anything. Say you were in the UK, for instance. But if you're like in a free speech nation, you're literally pushing against an open door where everybody supported you. I don't know, like nobody else agrees. You're just doing the equivalent of punching yourself in your own face by nominating this and completely destroying your own award ceremony.
And apparently,
I'm completely fine with that.
And it also apparently rips off elements from a movie called Rebel. All right, so it's not even original at this point.
Well, I'm never going to watch that. So
there you go. So that's a movie where it's a war musical, but it has ISIS singing because ISIS hates music. So they were doing it to troll ISIS. But so Emelia Perez tops Oscar nominations with 13, including Best Picture and Best Actress. She has already won it was part of the actress ensemble at the Cannes Film Festival, right? And I don't think she is going to win now, because whether it was an op, whether the powers, I'm guessing, I'm conspiratorial. I don't get. Yes, I think the powers that be probably saw some of the backlash, and
Life
maybe
comes at you fast, doesn't it?
It found some old tweets.
I don't think there's that much to be like conspiratorial about with this.
I think there is.
I think that nobody knows who this dumb fuck is. right? Nobody had ever heard of this fucking freakazoid before. No one ever heard of this disgusting, ugly piece of shit before. And all of a sudden, starts getting popular, claiming all this victimhood. Nobody wants me because I'm trans, but I'm going to show him a real actress. Fuck Donald Trump and all these things. And I think people are like, oh, who is this? And for the first time ever, they went through her tweets. His tweets, sorry.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'd never heard of this person until this movie.
And I think there was a reason they did that, because there probably is internally some backlash over this dude being nominated for Best Actress. And, you know, they're not going to say anything publicly. And if this dude won, those 4 women who got beat
I want him
would
to win.
Stand up and applaud.
Yes, that's why I want him to win, so that all these hypocrites,
too bad, Demi Moore.
They have to stand and clap as a man gets
We're
their
gonna find
award.
out. We're actually going to find out a little earlier because the SAG, or as
Film Actors Guild.
Film Actors Guild, as we like to say.
SAG.
Their awards is the 23rd, and so he is nominated for Best Actress there too.
Oh,
and also
good.
the entire cast is nominated for Best Cast. And so if it wins there, and if he wins there, that's going to be the sign, because they very closely line up with their actors who wins.
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't know. And when did the voting end for that?
Oh, let's see.
So they still have to vote.
Announced on the 8th.
On the Oscar nominations, and based on this, I think the dude lost. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I think it's done, which is too bad.
I'm
Our hopes and
surprised-
dreams are gone of a sweep.
I'm surprised that no one from corporate went through their tweets beforehand. Like, especially after everything we've seen with like Gina and
Why do you
everything, we know
keep
they're
being
monitoring
Disparu?
their
I
social
love
media.
you. Why do you keep being surprised about this?
Well, because corporations are very good at coming up with like procedures. And so you would think they'd be like, okay, we've got a new star in. We're going to check their history. Is there anything there that we held against them?
You're looking at the real world
Competency.
and then Hollywood.
Yeah, when it comes to the Hollywood
Yeah.
people, like this is this is a god.
Well, this is what I'll say about that, Disparu. If it is something like, oh, this person's going to be the next Captain America, right? Or we're going to make, like, Christopher Nolan's making Oppenheimer, and we need to be really careful about James Woods Association, like things that you might know are going to be big. This was something that was made for like a fucking $8 or $10 million budget, really fucking small. Premieres at the Cannes Film Festival last year. Netflix buys the rights to it, along with the rights they have for a million other things. I doubt when they bought it, they might think it could make some waves because of something. I doubt they thought it would get 13 fucking Oscar nominations and that this dude would get nominated for Best Actress. I doubt they thought that happened when they initially
Netflix.
bought onto it.
Chris talked about this with the Critics' Choice Awards. They pushed it hard, like really, really, really fucking hard. Wouldn't want to suggest payola in any way, shape, or form. None of that goes on at all. But as far as like. That is concerned, Disparu, like what Ryan just said, yes, there have been people who have been hired on Star Wars and Disney projects who have deleted a lot of fucking tweets. And they probably had help,
though.
but not from an indie
covering
project. Not from an indie project like that. Like I doubt they even gave a shit.
Yeah, this, like, to be clear, this wasn't made by Netflix. This was something that was made independently. Netflix bought the rights.
Netflix
to it.
has a bad history with buying French films. By the way,
Yeah.
With cuties.
Clear.
Yeah. So, and if you watch this movie, you will see you see legendary pictures pop up and Syncope or something, like some production company. There's like 20 production companies before this fucking movie before it starts. It's like, God damn it, the credits going to start anytime soon. So there was a lot of different. It was a French, Mexican, Belgian production that was bought by Netflix.
It was directed by a French person who doesn't speak Spanish and hates musicals, and made a Mexican musical predominantly in Spanish about a trans drug lord.
And then got actresses who had either Spanish was not their first language or had forgotten their diction about it. And Selena Gomez is getting so much shit.
Yeah, they've been roasting her.
Roasting
So
the hell
many
out of her.
reasons.
So it's a fucking shit show. And like I said, the progressives didn't think it was progressive enough, and it was a regressive message. GLAAD fucking hated it. The Mexico fucking hates it
because it portrayed trans people as liars.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
no.
So virtuous. I can't believe that.
But so I want to go like back to like what were the offensive tweets, by the way. I think some of them were calling out BLM, right? Calling out BLM. I think Chinese virus was actually used in one.
That's back when he was a man, though, okay?
There's
okay, how long has this actor been a woman?
That's my question.
That's my question.
Where your post
like 2018, 2019, right in that time period.
Okay.
So this person is complaining about fucking Muslims in Europe. I keep Muslims everywhere and saying, get these dirty Muslims out of here. They said
Must know somebody that got stabbed.
The George Floyd quote is, I am not saying this. This man said this, just for the record. Said, I don't think anyone really cared about George Floyd, a drug addict. What he fucking say? Go up a little bit.
Fine.
The George Floyd one's up a little bit more.
There
right
it
there.
is. Right there.
I think that very few people ever cared about George Floyd, a drug addict swindler. Instead, is served to once again demonstrate that there are people who, this person quoting this.
Oh no.
Monkeys.
Oh yeah, we don't need to read that quote. We don't need to read the quote. We do not need to read the quote.
Hold on, go down. And consider policemen to be assassins. They're all wrong. So that's what she was basically in. Everybody's fucked up in this thing. That's what he said.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, that's what he said.
Is it he said, she said situation?
That was good. That is a good one.
Odin, that was funny.
The person who right now is bragging about how powerful it is and progressive it is for a trans person to be nominated for Best Actress in the 2021 Oscars, if you scroll down a little bit more, right here, more and more the hashtag Oscars are looking like a ceremony for independent and protest films. I didn't know if I was watching an Afro-Korean festival, Lives demonstration, or Black Lives Matter demonstration for the 8M. Apart
What's the 8M?
The ugly gala. About the Oscars.
So this person saw what the Oscars were and were like, I'm going to do exactly that, and then becomes she's going on the stage.
Okay, so was it a he when it said it?
I believe this dude transitioned and has now been calling themselves a woman since around 2019.
Probably because of these tweets.
I believe.
Okay. So he's not going to win Best Actress. That's the bottom line on this one. And I just want to point out
bunch of China shit,
Chinese virus,
COVID, a bunch of Muslim shit.
I'm going for broke.
Talks about Hitler.
I think he wins. I think he still wins.
Okay, I just want to say, would there be the same? I mean, there's other stuff, but let's talk about the Muslim stuff. If you would replace that with Christians, would there be any backlash at all?
No, there would not. Not
knowing the answer to that question. Okay. Wow.
Islam is marvelous without any machismo. Women are respected, and they're so respected they're left with a little square hole on their faces for their eyes to be visible in their mouths, but only if she behaves, although they dress this way for their own enjoyment. How deeply disgusting of humanity. I'm kind of on this.
This is great.
This one is like
based.
Okay, yeah.
Around.
I could have been friends with him as a dude.
So
I want him to win Best Actress even more now.
Win.
Oh, dude, I'm praying for a sweep. I am praying for a sweep. Please.
I think he still wins it, Gary.
I hope he.
Remember,
I hope he
trans
wins.
people are at the top of the arc. Like they are the top of the
They're
pole.
peaking right
The
now.
top.
Do you think they're peaking?
You could pretty much do no wrong. So I think he still wins it. I think he still wins it.
We'll see. We'll see. But there's an apology that came out, right?
See, that was enough. Done.
An apology where basically, maybe this guy has completed the transition because he seems like he's a fucking expert at playing victim, a very feminine trait right there. So maybe it truly has completed the transformation into
Let's
a
give
woman.
him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. and in what this dude sent to Hollywood Reporter, this statement deactivated their entire Twitter account and said there's a lot of people that are just out to spread misinformation and harm my chances at the Oscars. And reportedly,
that's right.
This statement says that this was typed between tears. all to feel bad for this fucking disgusting, ugly freak.
Is it
I
true?
thought with the classic, I'm
Is it-
sorry you felt that way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you found out.
I'm sorry that my social media post caused hurt.
As someone in the marginalized community, I know this suffering all too well. It's
boy.
just
Oh,
this
perfect.
victim shit, man.
Ting, ting.
All
Wait,
is forgiven.
So is it true? I heard the internet said it, so it has to be true. Did the Academy unfollow it on Instagram?
I don't know if they ever were following or not.
There you go.
So
That's the
That's what I-
question.
that's always tough. to
Well,
know.
God, the internet's just always perfect with information. So
Never
Uh,
anything wrong.
Carla Sofia Gascon on deactivating X account. I can no longer allow this campaign of hate and misinformation to affect my family or me. I'm sorry you felt that way.
Aw, womp,
Now they're the victim.
womp.
Guess it's going over to Blue Sky or
Yeah.
You know you're in trouble.
Yeah,
you
the
have to
pedophile website.
Ryan has to bounce. He'll be back. Ryan will be back. He has to go
You
take
know
out.
you're in trouble when you have to remind people you're a human being.
Yeah.
No, it's
I'm a human being
dude, you're right.
with
Disparu.
feelings and-
Let me be clear. I'm a human being. Like anytime,
Are you though?
anytime you have to
I'm
start
a
with one of
proud
those.
human
Anytime you have to start with one of those.
Why not bleed blood?
I am a human being who also made, makes, and will make mistakes from which I will learn. The Emelia Perez star added in a statement as she continued to apologize for anyone who was hurt by controversial past tweets about George Floyd and Muslim immigration, among other topics. I am not perfect.
This is the most vague thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm a human being. I make mistakes. I'm not perfect.
You know what?
Like, that's not referring to anything.
Disparu, when I was in court at my plea deal, I should have done that. I'm a human being.
Yeah.
I make mistakes, okay? I was,
no, what you should have done is
any
said
other
it's
name would smell as
ma'am.
sweet. You just like start talking
It is.
random
You
crap.
need to mind your business.
24 hours into a controversy that has upended the 2025 Oscar. Dude, it was already in controversy. For one, it was such a shitty year for. Forget about
Just
it.
the announcement.
It was a shitty year for movies. Period. Sorry. Something. Something.
You will never have
Something
us.
Carla will never have. Yes.
I love how people pulling up his tweets is a hate campaign.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's your fault I'm getting this heat.
If you hadn't
missed
Not what I
down,
said.
you wouldn't have been offended.
You know, we didn't.
Yeah.
We didn't have enough time. I wanted you guys to find your worst tweets, and we'd all apologize for them. But
Oh shit.
Ooh, let me
I
look.
don't even know what mine would be.
What's the last thing I tweeted?
the only thing that
I know
can't.
the ones that pissed off the most amount of people, but I'm not going to apologize for it. I still think I'm
No,
right.
it was supposed to
Yeah,
be a joke.
is there a way to sort by popular on Twitter? That'd probably be the best.
most
Sure, I've
ratio
said something
tweet.
I disagree with. I'd have to go back.
Well, all you have to do is go to Reddit. They'll find some of your best tweets.
Yeah,
So-
right.
You just have to
Yeah,
Google
collated
Rachel
over there.
Leichman articles, you'll find them.
Reddit's great for that. For the Oscar race, Best Actress nominee Carla Sofia Gascon has sent the Hollywood Reporter a long statement explaining why she chose to deactivate her X account after critics surfaced inflammatory old tweets of hers, weighing in on, among other things, the 2020 murder of George Floyd and ensuing racial reckoning. An ensuing racial is that what you called burning? Stop right fucking there. What?
What?
Captain America agrees. Like, he
First
came
off-
out and he was fully on board with that.
Death
So-
of George Floyd, not
You need to
murder.
be
That's
better.
garbage.
Hey,
I was going to say the same thing.
all of
no,
those,
it-
all those black
Jimmy
people
Kimmel interview.
who lost their fucking businesses in Minnesota, that was a racial reckoning.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
yeah.
just
The
deal with
black
it.
officer that was retired.
Yeah, I got
a hero
murdered.
in all
Racial
aspects, got
reckoning.
murdered.
A
Murdered.
bunch of
But they have insurance though. It'll pay for it.
yeah, they can resurrect them. You know, like, yeah, whatever. And it was a bunch of white people in Portland as fucking racial. Fuck. As well as decrying Muslim immigration in her native Spain and calling for a ban of religions that go against European values.
This is the most contradictory set of
It's
opinions I've
I
ever
am-
seen in a person.
This is like the movie. It's like watching the movie. I'm like, where am I going with this?
It's like, oh no, this is affecting me. It's a problem. But over there, it's fat. Don't mind about that over there. I've never seen someone with such polar opposite either side of the aisle stuff.
Well, trans is not just an identity; it's also a way of life.
I think there's. Hang on, I got a clip for
It's
how
more like split
Constant
personality.
confusion.
The very comments themselves are trans, right? It's going from one to the other. Right?
They're fluid.
transing,
Odin.
you know?
They're fluid.
Yeah, it's not helping
Yeah.
the stereotypes of differences between men and women. Let's just say.
No.
You know, opinions are like a spectrum.
It's a spectrum. Watching Hollywood deal with this, I have the perfect clip.
It's like watching a bunch of retards trying to fuck a doorknob out there.
What a great film.
That is a great film.
Okay.
That is a great film. Oh, we could bring the article back up. I wanted to finish reading that. It was so
Doesn't he
good.
throw wrenches at him?
Yeah, if you could dodge
Yes.
a wrench,
Yes.
you could dodge a
Dodge a
ball.
ball.
That was when we were just a proper country back then.
All I know is that type can play.
Yep. I got that one too. I have been threatened with death, insulted, abused, and harassed to the point of exhaustion. I have a wonderful daughter to protect, whom I love madly and who supports me in everything.
Maybe they shouldn't.
Okay. I don't know where this goes other than I think she was going to win. I don't think so now because this will affect the voting no matter what. Like this will absolutely affect the voting. I think Demi Moore, I think you win now. And I want Demi Moore to win. I like Demi Moore.
Yeah.
She should.
She's
but
a woman.
Earned it.
She should win Best Actress.
She's already more qualified.
Most basic
one-
of lines.
The basic
I gotta root for my fellow man here.
Yeah, we got us dudes have to stick together. Let's go,
The
Carla.
brotherhood, true brotherhood.
Where have we come in society?
Oh.
Like
Very
what
low.
Disparu was
It's
saying,
a funnier
like,
place than it used to be.
Yeah.
It's funny, but like they can't even qualify as a woman to get the award. It's just like, wow.
We did it
we're
to
at-
ourselves. We brought it
Look,
up.
best person for the job. That's what I say.
Isn't Demi Moore's nominated for Substance, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I liked that movie. Did anybody watch it?
Haven't seen it.
I
good.
need to watch. Everyone tells me to watch it.
It's next
Sounds
on my
like you did a
list.
great
I
job.
am watching all the Best Picture nominees.
It's got a great message, but it's a little too intense for me.
It's it's body horror for sure, but I liked it.
I was surprised she appeared in Landman because it was such a minor role.
She was
I
at, well,
like,
they're setting her up for season 2.
I
but
know,
you're-
that's
no,
what it seems
but
like.
that you can pull that back up. I wanted to read that article, that paragraph. Sorry, no, but real
I feel
quick.
like I'm in a time loop.
That's how fucking big Taylor Sheridan's like. We'll get the Best Actress nominee to be in a fucking side part in our TV show. By the way, that crushed everything in minutes watched. It crushed everything. And it's on Paramount Plus. So the fact that it was destroying everything tells you that people actually want a good story. Great show. Watch it. Her campaign has been framed as we were saying, it was political. Her campaign has been framed in a progressive light, giving the Academy the chance to protest the ascendancy of anti-trans sentiment under the new Trump administration.
The truth comes out. This is exactly what we knew it was going to be.
Yep. And now it starts to get saccharine. This is from Gascon. Light will always triumph over darkness. Yes, it has. That's why America's coming back, because it has.
They're just so deluded in their own righteousness. They're like, and they are completely blind to their own actions. It's astounding.
These are the same quotes from the orcs after Sauron fell. We will triumph. We will overcome.
That was brilliant.
That was good. That was good. That's why he's on the show, folks. He's a pro. Don't try this at home. But by the way, gets all saccharine. Light will always triumph over darkness. But the revelation of Gascon's incendiary past positions has thrown her campaign into disarray and sent Netflix, the film's distributor, scrambling to contain the fallout. You know what?
Losing literally dollars. Like,
I know they won't even fucking notice. They'll just they'll just spam out 5 more shows that nobody's going to watch. And, you know. Screenshots of since deleted tweets. Don't even bother deleting them. The internet's forever. Okay.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Continued to circulate on Friday after the deactivation of Gascon's account, including a post in which the actress invoked Hitler. What?
I've not heard this one before.
I love the side note.
Wait,
I
can
love
we
the
see
side
that
note
tweet?
they add there?
Pull-
Yeah,
Can we
hang on,
actually see it?
What did I
Never
say?
a great
Never a
idea
great
on
idea.
social media.
Crazy left have been invoking Hitler all the freaking time. They've been calling everyone Hitler, and now they're just saying, "Oh, never a good idea."
Never a great idea on social media. I know, right?
Elon was Hitler the other day, so
Yes.
I have defended each and every one of the minorities in the world and supported any event against racism,
Not all
freedom.
of them.
No, that's not exactly true, is it? Freedom of religion or homophobia. In the same way that I've criticized the hypocrisy that underlines them.
That's them just saying that. See, I'm a good person. Truly, I am because I support
Trust me,
diversity.
trust
I'm
me,
a good
bro.
ally.
Trust me, bro. Don't cancel me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't believe you. I'm gonna see your actions. I'll watch your actions to determine if you're a good person or not.
oh my
Not this
God.
vain virtue signaling.
I've just read because the first thing I am self-critical of is myself. What else are you going to be self-critical of?
I'm going to be self-critical of somebody else. Disparu. That's what
Well, inside
They're
this
not
person,
sending
there are
the
2
best.
people.
They're not.
Yes, he's being self-critical of himself from before the time in which he was himself.
He sounds a lot smarter when he's speaking Spanish. I'm just saying that because I did not understand it. You can
I
take
think
this
he
out.
was smarter as a man.
I agree.
Don't we all do?
That's why I said it. He's not helping the stereotypes. I'm just saying, you know.
that paragraph before you shut it off looked like he was blaming the internet for what he said.
Oh, that would be
it's part of the
amazing.
toxicity of social media. They influenced me to say it. It's those alt-righters.
Erroneous.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy. She also suggests that the voices of aligned against her could be part of a deliberate effort to scuttle her Oscars
That's right.
chances.
Oh,
It's
okay.
everybody else's fault.
Everybody's
Yes.
against me,
We're
bro.
scuttling.
The things I said 5 years ago, they caused me.
It's clear that there is something very dark behind it. Okay.
That's what
She
she
writes,
said.
I keep wanting to get away from this article, but it keeps getting dumber.
He's pulling us back in.
Just when I thought, Gary. So
It's a Hollywood. Yeah, we can get rid of it now. But holy crap. What a crazy, crazy week. The Oscars is such a shit show anyway. It's on the decline. This isn't going to help it. And it absolutely, Emelia Perez got 13 Oscar nominations as a protest. They said it right there.
Mm-hmm.
It was a protest. It wasn't for art. It's not about merit. They just screwed over a female actress, another Best Picture winner. This dude got Best Director nomination over Denis Villeneuve, whatever his fucking last name is. Villeneuve. And like
Too many V's.
Too French. Too
Canadian.
And the French are weird, okay? And I appreciate weird.
They wrote this movie.
They wrote this movie.
Right.
Dude, we were okay. I put in the Grand Tour clip of their that's part of what they would perceive what a French car commercial was, and they made it like a French art movie, which is fucking hilarious in itself. And I'm like, well, if that doesn't work, Perry, you're kind of French. Find me something weird. And he, dude, what he fucking found me.
It's pretty
Okay,
weird.
I'm going to describe it to you. I can't show it to you. But when he said that, I'm like, bullshit. Shows me the clip. So it's a dude exporting tomatoes, jacks off on a bunch of tomatoes, sends them to America. A fat woman falls on the cum-covered tomatoes and gives birth to a tomato.
They're called
We've all been
dried
there.
tomatoes.
And I'm like,
The French, man.
the fucking French, man.
Holy crap.
We make a lot of fun movies. What
Yeah.
can we say?
You just don't understand art.
I love tomatoes.
Every time I think they don't deserve the flack they get, something like this comes up, and I'm just like, you deserve everything
They're not
you get.
tomatoes.
Bloody
They're
friend.
tomatoes.
The only reason they got no one can catch
Oh
them.
no,
It's like-
I didn't describe it well enough because when the tomato comes out, it's you don't want to know. I'm sorry, I saw it.
Is it like a tomato humanoid?
No, it's covered in something.
Did you see the Mexicans taking the piss though, where the Mexicans released their own movie of?
Oh
like,
no,
France,
that
just
one
using
is
all French stereotypes.
fucking great. Yeah, find that Guardian article. So Mexico's so pissed off that a trans filmmaker in Mexico made a parody about two rival gang or cartel bosses, and one owns a croissant shop and one owns a baguette shop, and they oh my god, and everybody's got striped shirts and they're fucking mimes.
This is everything to do with the films.
That should have got nominated for Best Picture.
Go down to the description. I think it's in the second paragraph. Go one more. In the response, Mexican trans filmmaker Camila Aurora posted a 30-minute video on social media which features dancers and actors dressed in fake mustaches, wearing berets and striped T-shirts in a comic story about a romance between trans heirs of rival croissant and baguette producing families.
This should win the Oscar.
This should win the Oscar.
That's what I think of when I think of France.
And it's called Joanne Saclablu.
El musical.
Oh.
Una película muy Francesca. A very French film.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to hit play. I don't know if
Copyright.
La France nécessaire. La son de place, mais welcome la baguette, la croissant,
Put it-
others. Become the person spécialiste bébert.
Do we have English subtitles for this, Garrett?
I should be able to translate it into.
Même si c'est la peur ressemble à une star de mort.
Auto translate.
Auto translate.
Oh my god.
That's fun.
Put English at the top.
It
has.
Must eat your what?
It has.
Keep going. It's not the W's.
Where are you going?
There the alphabet.
Well done.
Congrats.
Well done.
I thought I was making an account.
Welcome to France.
This is very
Oh
French.
my god.
This is actually, yeah.
It's already better.
The music's already better.
Singing's
It's only in France more of the women would have mustaches.
Yes. There it is.
Do they have like rats on their shoulders?
Hopefully. They want to be accurate. That and bedbugs.
Hey.
That is a rat. It's a mouse in his pocket.
Right for the mustache. What is she holding?
She's having like a
rat.
stuffed mouse.
It's a stuffed mouse like rat.
They all have mice. They all have a mouse on them.
Yeah. They're in Paris.
What an elegance that. France, good evening, sir. Do you want to retire immediately and without scandal? Welcome to where you're going to find.
This is already a better song.
Yeah. This is better than any of the music in Emelia Perez.
I love all the fake mustache. Look at the woman on the bench back there.
The guy walking past in the background has no idea what's going on.
It just
Okay.
looks like they're doing the Macarena.
Just
Like all the strangers are just like, I'm staying away from that. Like, no.
Okay.
good for Mexico for the response. Giving a response video to movies is fucking great. Make that happen way more.
I
miss
feel
these parody
culturally
movies.
enlightened.
Me too.
Rich, even.
I feel like I don't even have to go to France now.
I think Mexico should go to war with France over this.
It's actually
Well,
a lot
given
of effort to go to, though.
France's recent history, Mexico would win.
Yes.
Well, no,
Easily.
if Mexico travels
Just
over
walk
there,
right
France
in.
will just run away to Mexico.
I mean, you could just walk right in. Like France, like militarily, is pretty strong. They have nukes and stuff, but Mexicans have
But they're
cartels.
gay.
So,
Oh.
yeah.
Hot sauce.
They had the Maginot Line.
Well,
It
there
didn't
is an
involve them either.
insurgency. I went to Paris and I didn't see a lot of French
They-
people. You know what I'm
They
saying?
spent all the time building the Maginot Line, and they just went around. Just
Yep.
we'll go through the Ardennes. Done.
It's the impenetrable forest.
It
Oh,
is.
really? Oh, why don't you have tanks?
Last subject before we get to soups is the Acolyte, guys. Breaking news. It is still canceled. The Acolyte is still canceled, but apparently it was the
What?
second most watched Star Wars show despite its cancellation. With no context, basically it was the second smartest retard. And it was so what's being left out of the conversation, because Manny Jacinto was running with this, Leslie Headland's as Ryan put it, gay wife. Again, if she's not gay, that's a little weird, but you never know. Surprisingly unblemished for being in a lesbian relationship that long. But I'm still
They do
believe
wonders
there's.
with makeup in Hollywood.
But they both drive around in U-Hauls, so I don't know. But yeah, so
Ready to leave at a moment's notice.
ready to leave at a moment's notice. So forgetting the fact that Bob Iger, prior to this, 2 years prior to this, said we're slowing down Star Wars content. Remember that everybody made videos on it. We're slowing down Star Wars content, and we're going to pump the brakes on some Marvel stuff. So they didn't release anything last year. They released it got beat by Percy Jackson. So Percy Jackson was released in 2023. So it got beat by a part of a season of another show, like by a lot. It also, it also like performed right around, Echo and Agatha, which have been, it's now, there's a whole Deadline article. And what got lost in all this is the Rings of Power flopped too. Get to that in just a second. So it was a shitty year for streaming.
Putting out interviews again? That was
Why?
really random.
Oh, I know.
Sauron and Galadriel did a random interview with Screen Rant to somebody.
So
I'm like,
that is
what's the point of
Amazon's.
that?
So Jennifer Salke has a background in PR. That's where she comes from. She doesn't have any narrative experience. She is from PR. She will counteract any bad news, or try to counteract any bad news from Rings of Power. You will see an interview go out. You'll hear, like, once you hear bad news, all of a sudden there'll be some announcement or something like that. Disney does this too. And it's just trying to, they're not going to cancel Rings of Power. They've got too much into it, and they just won't. But Rings of Power.
You could see the propaganda in it, because that's the only show that, like, they were going hard in the paint on that. Well, everyone that criticized it is racist. And it was really funny because at the same time, like for season 1, it was running up against House of the Dragon, which also had black characters, and nobody cared. But with that show, everybody's a racist. This selective racism that comes out apparently from fans is wild, and they keep running with it. They're never going to stop.
You also have to ask, like, let's say it was true. What are you going to achieve? Are they going to watch your show or not? Like, if not, why are you even talking about it in the first place? Like, your marketing should be focused on what's actually effective to get more people into, like, watching the entertainment.
Again,
Just
you're
insulting people will
you're
never
trying
switch
to
them.
approach these things with logic and common sense and reason. And these
I just want
don't
Hollywood to be a
not-
business. That's all I want.
He wants to be-
Hang on.
These
the
do not
previous-
apply in Hollywood.
No.
The previous
not anymore.
headline said the most watched Star Wars show in 2024. How many Star Wars shows was there in 2024?
Just this one, I think.
No, there's
Bad
What?
Batch.
there was
And
no there was
was Bad Batch.
There was that
Bad
kid show.
Bad Batch and Skeleton Crew. No, Skeleton.
Okay,
Skeleton Crew was in 2024. Yeah. So but it started in 2024 and it ended in 2025. It was the tallest midget. It was the smartest
midget.
retard. That's all it
Yeah.
fucking was.
Like,
It's minutes
can't
watched, and Ryan's
That's
got like
unfair to midgets and
18.
retards. Come on.
It's not.
Most
Ryan's
of those
done
minutes. Most of those minutes watched are from the shit show that the first 3 episodes were, because I think people tuned in because they wanted to see the train wreck. But also, like, out of all of this stuff that's come out, it kind of shows how pathetic Disney's like the viewership on Disney Plus is too. When you
Yes.
compare like the top watch shows on Disney Plus and then look at the Nielsen charts for other shows, I don't know how they're making money on Disney Plus.
They're not.
Probably not.
They're not.
They're
Well, we're going to get an earnings report soon, right? Bob Iger promised that Disney Plus would be profitable by the end of last year, and what they had to do was bundle it with ESPN and Hulu. So independently, Disney Plus is still operating at a major loss, but now they can basically lie to their I'm just going to say it. They're dumb fucking investors who don't do any investigation at all, thinking, it's just going to turn around right around. It's, turnaround is right around the corner. It's going to happen. No, it's not. Bob Iger's been fucking lying to you. He robs Peter to pay Paul. He just buys a bunch of shit. And then he's going to be fucking off next year. Maybe to become mayor of LA. That'd be fucking hilarious.
That's the thing with this title. If your most watched show still gets cancelled, it means you can't make Star Wars anymore. Because you've done the best you can. This was the most performing thing you've done, and it's still not profitable. You still spent too much on it. Your entire IP at that point is gone.
And it's amazing how deceptive the title is. Like, their most watched show was still dog crap compared to the most popular shows.
Dude, it's a lie. Okay, so it's true that it's
Slash film used to be
the
good
most
too, man.
watched Star Wars show on the worst year ever of D+, where we didn't produce anything. And if you actually compare the numbers to other shows that were successful, it doesn't crack the top fucking 50 in streaming. Okay? And it's minutes watched. So that's a bullshit metric anyway. Minutes watched is such a fucking bullshit metric. Is how many motherfucking people watched every episode from beginning to end. That's what you want to know. You don't want minutes watched is complete fucking bullshit, but that's what we have to work with. And if you go look at the minutes watched of Landman and compare it to this, because this was like 2.7 billion. I'll look it up.
Well, it allows them to obfuscate by showing them this bigger number, right? It's like, we had 1.5 billion people watch hours or minutes or whatever the fuck it is. It's a way of basically obfuscating the fact that it did poorly.
Mm-hmm. And I wonder what the drop off is, because just like Fash said, it's like, there was a lot of interest in those first 3 episodes because there was unbelievable cringe in it. And then just died.
Who are these articles for? Like, who are they?
They're for themselves.
Because Slash Film actually used to be a really, really good site, and 2016 broke them.
Yeah,
because I remember I used to listen to like their podcast, and it was in the year of the election. All of a sudden, they had one episode where they were like, "All right, well, we have to talk about Trump," and from that point on, they just have gone downhill ever since.
That little bridge troll
like
that's running the website.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to know if these are used in like business meetings and stuff. So like if the executives don't watch the things, they just want a report, they want a summary. So someone comes in, gives a presentation, and hands them a load of article time. Like, this is why it shouldn't have been cancelled. This is why you made a mistake. This was the most watched show. And they can use that to go, no, I did my job right. Look at all these. The press loved it. And the executive goes, oh yeah, because he's just seen all the media talking about it. It depends who sees them.
Yes, and you also have Disney Plus, which has a lot of subscribers, not compared to Netflix, but way more than Paramount Plus, way fucking more. And Landman beat the shit out of Acolyte, like beat it like a drum. It should have been it was canceled. I'm sorry, it wasn't really us. It wasn't. It was because nobody fucking watched it. Nobody watched your fucking show. So these articles are written and framed dishonestly. All right. It's a complete lie. Slash Film, Collider are garbage, absolute garbage tier. Everybody knows that at this point. That's why YouTube exists, because we used to go to these places. Odin, I used to go to Slash Film. I used to go to IGN. I used to go to CBR all the fucking time and just read their articles, which were breaking down a TV show or a casting announcement or something like that. Then you're right. TDS broke Hollywood, broke Access Media, and it created a giant void that was filled by the fans, by you, which is great. It ultimately, it sucked to go through that time, but we get something better out of it, because life finds a way. Because life finds a way. The universe unfolds as it should, and they're just a bunch of fucking liars. So the idiot actors go out there and gaslight whoever fucking likes the show, and they go, "I can't believe it got canceled." And what's funny is they're calling Disney an idiot bullshit corporation. I'm like, okay, I'll agree with you there. We're not going to agree on how we got there, but I'll agree with you right there. And this is why they don't cancel shows. This is why we got 5 seasons of Star Trek Discovery and a bunch of Doctor Who, because when they do cancel one of these fucking shows, they have to put up with this shit, but they actually listen to them while not listening to us. And I've always said, you don't have to listen to us. Just don't listen to them. But that's what they've been doing. So now they regret it. Now there's a bunch of fucking regret about this, and they have no fucking way out. None. And that's Hollywood. Disney, Hollywood, they have no fucking way out. And I'm just going to like break out the popcorn. That's all I'm going to do.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they've really screwed themselves over. And when I think about how could they pull themselves out, the only options they have is stuff that they would never do. They don't want to admit defeat. They don't want to take the L. So they rarely going to course correct and just make media that people want. They want to keep the activism going inside and just keep it under the radar. And a lot of the people who have got the positions where they are now because of certain DI things, I haven't heard that they're getting fired yet or being, kicked out. They're just, their titles are being renamed basically from, diversity and inclusion officer to someone else or something like that. So it really seems like it's going to be like, what do you think is going to happen, Gary? Like in terms of the longevity of Hollywood in the mainstream in the future, in the next few years?
Oh, it's going to be chaos. Absolute chaos. This year will be chaos. And there's going to be the soonest overall as an industry they can change is 3 years.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like you'll see changes like more immediate in like stuff that's just a faster turnaround. So you'll see Taylor Sheridan get a lot more rich. He can turn his shows around. Those will be the biggest things around. You'll see like action movies that don't require a ton of shit that doesn't require a bunch of CGI and post-production will be the stuff that can potentially turn around faster. I don't like, but it's going to be unpredictable. Absolutely. Because there's still
we used to get 22 episodes of television every year from a series.
Yep.
Why now is it a 3-year production cycle? What happened?
CGI, more prestige. I mean, like they broke the model because that's built for broadcast. And like, even though it has been proven, Disparu, and it's a good question, that absolutely fucking works on streaming, they refuse to go back to it because they broke the base model, which was commercial TV. So now they're going to have to figure that out. They went all in on streaming without having a plan or even knowing what the fuck it was. That's the problem.
We've mentioned this before. They've abandoned the pilot model where they would test stuff. They would make a pilot, see if audience liked it, and if it was actually good, then they'd produce it. Now they've just been producing slop, and no one gives a crap.
No, like even when it's good, what Disparu just said, we're waiting 2 or 3 years. You can't do that. That's just not going to work. It works for movies. You want to know why it works for movies? Because all you have to do is remember or sit through again a 2-hour movie. Mm-hmm. With a series, it's like, oh man, I remember when series 1 came out 5 years ago.
I could even understand it if they went from 22 episodes a year to 8. Because like, we're just doing shorter seasons now. But to go from 1 year to 3 years while you do that, you've now basically like 6 times, 9 times, whatever it is, the multiple of that 1 year. So it like physically doesn't make sense. The amount of work these people must be sitting at home doing nothing for it to be that slow. Like they can't be working full time.
Mm-hmm. To Gary's point, how you're saying that when, something has such a break and then it comes out and you feel like you got to catch up. Like in this case, it's not an unpleasant thing, but I need to rewatch all of Daredevil because of Daredevil season 4 coming out. And I can't remember most of it because it's been so long. So I've got to
been 5 years.
But I'm loving the rewatch. It's a freaking great show. But yeah, I need to rewatch all things.
I think if it's a great prestige series, I think it's acceptable to be 14 months, 14 to 16 months, a year and a half. I think 2 years, it gets too long. It gets way too long. Even like One Piece, like, and then if you're Netflix, you don't have the best reputation with season 2s, not exactly.
Yeah. I don't have high hopes for it, and that's sad because I enjoyed season 1.
I freaking loved it. That was great. We were all watching it at the house and
I know.
At the Airbnb in the Muslim neighborhood in the UK.
That line, when that line dropped and we were all watching it together, where the character says, girls can beat boys, but no woman can beat a man. We were like, what?
Good times. That was good times. We'll be back this year, UK. We'll be back. We might get arrested.
We'll
for
be all
memes.
up in you.
We'll be all up in you.
Make sure you get rid of all of the kitchen knives, butter knives.
The points.
The points.
Just the points. You can round them off. Make them
Apparently, the
nerd.
rest of it isn't dangerous. That stops everything.
Noons has gifted 50 Nerdrotic memberships for $250. Noons! Let's go! Thank you. Watch parties will return when I get back from MegaCon. We'll finish up Clarkson's Farm. I've got a little work to do between now and then. I mean, it's really tough stuff, really hard stuff. But thank you, Noons. Not Another Dime has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for 50. Hey, lot of memberships. Roland the Wretched has returned. Him and his shorn scrotum. Breathtaking. $100. Says KFC represents a lot of different things, and I don't think chicken should be one of those representations. This week's God's Perfect Idiot Award goes to Anthony Mackie, who Captain America movie doesn't have Steve Rogers and isn't about America. So it doesn't have Steve Rogers and it isn't about America. So it's a Falcon movie. Whatever you had predicted for a domestic opening, you can knock 10 million off for this nonsense. And the apology wasn't one. Typically for Hollywood, I am beginning to wonder if this was an FU from Mackie. He knows he won't be Cap after Secret Wars. No, he won't. He's talking about.
Yeah,
they're all coming back recasted after that. Every one of them will be back. All the main characters.
Nice.
Mackie said he hoped he'd be it for 10 years.
Now they're moving.
It's not going to happen.
Good luck.
They're moving towards a soft reboot after Secret Wars. I mean, they're doing Secret Wars. If you know anything about Secret Wars, it's about rebooting. Not Secret War. Okay, that was the good one. Secret Wars is the fucking shitty one.
Stupid one on Battle World.
And Battle World.
The one with Doctor Doom, had Human Torch as the sun, which was fucking stupid.
The Thors.
So
that entire event existed to make Miles Morales in the 616.
It did, and it ended it ended the 616. That's what it did for me.
Yeah.
I am going to do a shameless promotion for Ian. Every other Tuesday, he does a classic movie viewing for his Take My Money Damn It members and above, and we always have a good time. So for less than a cup of Starbucks, you can watch a movie not called Emelia Perez. Oh, shit. If you have Netflix, you could not watch it. Today's read is Matthew 6:21. From where your treasure is there. From where your treasure is, their grifters will be also. Hail to FNQ, Fellowship, Chat, Mods, Baby Thor. Baby Thor is probably 20 by now. RIP, Pizza Time Pizza. Only thing gayer than Emelia Perez is not having the song Man Buns Are Gay. I agree. Until next time, so long, gay boys! Yeah, that's me.
That looks accurate.
That
looks accurate.
Yeah, my mom took that picture.
Yeah, I believe it.
That's right when the war was getting really rolling.
I still have
Great War.
I still have one of the first Captain America comics I ever bought. Right there.
Focusing on that one.
97.
Yeah, that's 90s.
97.
Wow.
Bennett.
Good
Yeah.
condition.
The artwork in it is actually friggin' phenomenal. I love this stuff.
Yeah, that stuff.
It's on the good paper too.
Man.
Yep.
Wow.
Good memories, man. And I was into Captain America ages ago. I didn't get many of the comics because we didn't get many over here in Australia. But
Are you sure it's because you didn't think the A stood for Australia?
No.
do they call it Captain America? ER.
My friends are trying to, they didn't like it. They were trying to say his name, and I'm like, screw that. He's friggin' awesome. And still got some of the comics stuff.
I have that comic.
Do you?
Exactly.
Oh, no.
That's great. That's a real slogan.
I am still pissed off about third Spider-Man Marvel film for what they gave Uncle Ben's line to Aunt May.
Yeah.
It was just another
Mhm.
friggin' switcheroo.
Marvel has a fucking almost completely failed with Spider-Man. They like bringing Toby back and Andrew Garfield. And one of the biggest complaints about Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man was it was too melancholy and he was too much like being a skater and all that shit. I'm like,
He's too cool.
They went 1,000 times worse with fucking Tom Holland.
Yeah,
except he cried a lot.
A lot. Every movie.
Boomer Perez. That is that.
What saved that first Tom Holland movie was
I looked
Michael
really
Keaton.
surprised in that picture.
Like, whoa.
I liked Michael
makes it more
Keaton
authentic.
in Homecoming. He had some great scenes, like where he
The
pulled
reveal
that,
was good.
when he pulled that gun out on Peter and he's like, "I'll fucking kill you dead."
I really like the scene where they're in the car and Peter, like he realizes who Peter is, and
Yeah, that's
red
the
light
best
brings
scene in
him
the
in.
movie.
I like
You're
them
like, "Oh."
scavenging stuff from the Battle of New York. I thought that was a really clever idea. I fucking hate with the intensity of 10,000 Suns fucking Tony Stark being a mentor to Peter Parker. Fuck that. Hell no.
You don't think he would?
It's not Spider-Man. It is fundamentally not the character from the comics. You are making Iron Boy.
He isn't.
He's Iron Boy.
Yeah, it's like the character. He's basically the same character in that fucking shitty cartoon.
He doesn't join the Fantastic Four. He doesn't join the Avengers forever. Okay, he's on his own because he has a whole set of different problems, right? He's worried about his Aunt May. He's worried about rent. He's dealing with like real life issues, and he's his own man. He becomes his own man, and he overcomes all that. And for all the bad shit that happens to Peter Parker, he stays good.
He was really tight with the Fantastic Four, though, because
He was.
him and Johnny, because they're best friends.
They're in his first issue, which I have.
Yeah.
We didn't land in Mordor. Mordor landed on us.
Oh, Malcolm X quote there.
Mark of reality for 100. I know you don't like politics. What's up, Mark, baby? I know you don't like politics. I don't like him 24/7. I can't like, God bless anybody who can sit through confirmation hearings from beginning to end. Please do it by all means, but just let me know when it's all over. It's a dog and pony show and it was all predetermined anyway. So I know you don't like politics, but Donald J. Trump has been in office for 10 and a half days, and he made an amazing mean tweet about Jim Acosta. And what did it say? Jimmy,
I just heard, weren't they gonna shuffle him off to like a late night spot, and then he just quit because he thought
he
it was
quit,
funny?
so he's gonna go independent,
Put on
and he'll be like Don Lemon.
Yeah, because
Okay,
that's
I
working
have
out
it.
so
Nobody
great.
will be
for him,
watching
like,
well for him.
Here's
I find
the
it so
tweet.
funny when these shills that have been propped up in the mainstream try and go independent, and they realize they have no natural talent or ability to attract
Chrissy has
people's
it.
interest.
I could pull it up.
Can whip it out.
Because last I heard, Don
Yeah.
Lemon was just dying, and he wasn't getting any attention at all now.
His videos are all over the place. Like,
Did
there's
you
one
see
that
that
got
video?
330, and then he'll get 8,000.
Did you see the video where he was interviewing a black man on the street of New York? And that black guy was like, nobody listens to you. We don't care about you anymore. You proved this. We don't care who you are.
No, you see what bullshit it is when they go on their own. Like Tucker Carlson could go on his own and he's doing really fucking good, you know? But like you see CNN people going and they just fade into obscurity, which they should have done anyway.
I mean,
nobody really
my
cares.
It
favorite
happens to them
example-
all. Like, where's Chris Como?
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
News
What's he
Nation.
doing?
He's trying to get friendly with the right. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, he's doing a little
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Working up that tree.
My
him
favorite
and Shank.
example. My favorite example is when the late night talk show host tried to make a podcast, and you got to see how funny they really were on their own. without a
Oh
script.
God, it was the
was
cringiest shit of all
painful.
time. And they all were doing it in their attic or their like spare room, so they weren't
Yep.
showing like how rich they are.
It was
Even the
hilarious
intro
and
that
sad.
was written down with jokes for them, there was so many awkward pauses in between each person saying the next line, even though it was scripted and could be edited. It was
Yeah, they all went and they're like in that room, that hallway that goes into your garage. That might be no, their houses are too big for that to be a laundry room, but you know what I mean. Yeah, like they went into like a cupboard or something to try to look modest.
It happens all the time. Look at the Avengers when they came out and did theirs. Once again, it was only edited to within an inch of its life to make it seem as if it was a sort of an action-packed stream kind of thing.
Anyway, love the show. We love you too. Hardly ever miss. And thank you for having on a based guest, i.e. Yellow Flash. Be sure to check out Flashcast tomorrow night.
Yes.
Hey, when's your book launching?
Early March.
Early March through Rip Ascend.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah, I got to talk to my publisher. But yeah, we're going to use Rip Ascend too for a limited release. That might be news to Eric, but we're going to use it.
I am the one that knocks.
Well, yeah, I have to like they were going to, like, part of the deal was they give me a certain amount to like take to cons or something like that. And I'm just like, well, I want to print a run, so I'll pay the extra or whatever. But once we get that worked out, I have to go, we're editing it right now, changing a couple of names. I'll give you one. I think we changed the names to protect the guilty and the innocent.
But you're gonna tell him.
Please wait, one Emelia Perez.
No, I'm mixing this from another name. So he like the guy I was working with like named like one guy Big Al, and I'm like, I would never fucking call anybody Big Al. So I'm like, oh, I'll use a nickname. I was telling Melissa, I'm like, oh, Ballsack. So I knew a guy, and the character it's applied to is not Ballsack, but one of the guys I hung out with and stuff was called his wife called him Ballsack. Like that was his name.
Wow.
So
It's kind of a compliment.
I'm changing it. It's fucking hilarious. Well, because he looked like a walking ball sack. But that's why. But that's the kind of shit I'm doing right now. I'm like changing little things. I'm like, I want to roll with ball sack, and they're all what? I'm like, yeah, we're going.
He
with
is the
ball
guy
sack.
they test anti-wrinkle cream on.
Yes.
While we're on the topic of speaking on working on books, man, I'm powering ahead with the novel I'm working on. Yesterday.
Good.
11-hour writing session straight.
Ooh.
And the week before, 12 hours. I'm just I'm having the...
That's got to be exhausting.
No,
surely.
it's fun.
Yeah,
Man.
like-
when you get in the zone, you just...
Yeah, George R. R. Martin does like 12 seconds and then takes a year off.
Grueling work.
I don't think Brandon Sanderson sits there for 11 hours and writes. That's crazy.
Well, I've restructured
Wait,
my
hold
schedule,
on.
so I've got whole days that I can just focus on it. And man, I'm up to 140,000 words. It's going to be a banger. I can't wait to get this one done.
Wow.
That's not entirely true, Gary, because he does 12 seconds of work and then he goes and writes projects for 45 other things.
Yes. And then goes to meetings and then complains about how busy he is. And he doesn't have time for Wins a Winner, which will never come out, which is a damn
Wins a
shame.
Winner. What's that? I'm writing Elden Ring 2.
Yep. Or I'm going to sit down and rewrite fucking Fire and Blood for the House of the Dragon song and stop writing Wins a Winner, which is what he did. He changed a bunch of it. So, Night of the Seven Kingdoms coming out. I just restarted the audiobook of The Hedge Knight. It's fucking fantastic. It's great.
I've only read the graphic novel, and it's my favorite graphic novel. I love it so much, but I haven't done the book, and so
It's
I'm
a very
tempted
short
to-
read. Like Hedge Knight is take you a couple hours to read it.
Because I might do the audiobook then, because I'd like to.
Yeah, Harry Lloyd does the reading. It's good.
Cool.
Harry Lloyd's good.
Because I love it. I love the Hedge Knight.
Andre CR on the Streamlabs side for $69.69. So Gary, you motherfucker. I mean, technically.
Look, that's what you do. You want to walk around the house with a T-shirt on that just says "I fucked your mom." That's what you scar your kids for life.
I live for those moments, Disparu. You don't know. As a father, I live for the moments that I can make them cringe and be uncomfortable. It's awesome. Like say
You
stuff
should
like
totally get a shirt that says "I love my MILF."
Hey,
MILF
just on
lover
that note, Gary,
69.
no,
my son is in his new year now because the year's starting, and one of the movies I have to study in their media class is Barbie, and he told me about it, and I just laughed. I was like, "We can study it. We'll sit down." And he's watching my review of it, and yeah, it's because I think his teacher is a feminist, and that's why.
Oh, get him out of that school.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You're going to get him an F.
Actually,
Probably the highest grade.
I'll be interested because if she tries to push some crap about it, I might have to sit down.
If any of the kids complain, just go, how the hell do you think you got here? Okay.
Yeah.
Was it fucking magic? Wasn't a stork, buddy. Gary, you motherfucker, how dare you subject the panel to Emelia Perez? Oh, I dare. I dare.
I mean, you've done some mean things before, Gary, but that one I feel is like a little too
You can make a review. Dude, I made a review. The movie came out 3 fucking months ago. And I made a review. And it did pretty good. So, like, you can make content out of it. But you know what? It's like there was so much going on with it. I'm going to do an Oscar show with Chris, and I've already committed to watching all the Best Picture. We should anyway, because we cover fucking Hollywood. This should be stuff we're doing anyway. And I watched a couple of them already. But like so much was going on. I was like, okay, I have to fucking see this. Now, it was a brutal, brutal watch. It was not fun at all. Like even roasting it or like usually there's unintentional comedy, but like I was missing Madam Web. I'm like, God, I wish it was like more like Madam Web.
That does not help. You're not selling me on
now, but now I can like, if anybody wants to try to bring a media literacy, I fucking watch the movie. You're fucking retarded if you think this deserves an Oscar.
Time is going to be good to Madam Web. Because Madam Web is so bad
it's gonna
that
get
it
midnight
almost
showings.
becomes unintentionally
If they
good.
still did midnight showings, it would get midnight showings. That'd be kind of funny.
Same for Willow, because now no one can watch it, so I can just lie.
Yep.
It's the best show ever made. You never see it.
I forgot to renew my.
I cried.
The thing is, though, Willow is
Many
so
people cry.
bonkersly bad. When you tell the truth about it, people think you're lying because it's insane. Willow is insane.
Worm secretion.
No, I
They
think
ate all the characters ate jizz. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Worm jizz. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Specifically
yeah.
worm.
I'd rather. Okay, so yeah, this was my comment that I should have put on Twitter, but I told everybody in the chat once I was done watching it, said I identify with the 41%. Like I really do. So subjecting the panel to Emelia Perez, if I was in that show, I'd rather join the 41% than watch this shit. I forgot to renew my visa, so I can't go to Orlando. What the fuck? Well, yeah, it's a little too late to go through the Texas border at Eagle Pass and get a phone. I feel gay because you are, but not as gay as liking Twilight.
They would have let you in then.
But not as gay as liking Twilight. And you're right there.
Could be not as gay as liking Acolyte. Twilight is heteronormative. There you go.
Oh my God, it's one of the worst fucking movies I've ever
You
seen.
gotta get the fuck out of here.
Have you even watched the old Flash?
I've seen the second one.
There we
and
go.
one of the few movies I've actually. It's hard for me to fall asleep in places, but I actually fell asleep during that second one. They were running around in the woods, and then when I woke up, they were in Rome.
Hail FNT, much love to you all. I've known for a few years that you would help us Patriots win the culture war. However, we still need to fight. Yeah, the culture war is not over. It's not really ever over, but like there can be lulls and victories and losses. And the last 4 years has been tough, but we can see the light
some
now.
big wins.
Big
There's
wins.
been some big wins lately.
Trump has done more in 10 and a half days than I have seen any president do since I can't remember much of Reagan. I was pretty high back then. So all my life, he's accomplished more in 2.5 weeks.
Every day there's something. I've been loving it.
Pronouns
Every day there's
are-
some crazy shit going on.
Pronouns are gone from emails.
Yep.
That happened
Good.
today.
Amazing.
We
Did
can't,
you see that there was the USDA or no, the agricultural inspector was like, she can't fire me. So they had to get security to drag her out of her fucking office.
Yeah.
No
Really?
way.
Physically removed. You're
That's
fired.
He can't fire me. Turns out he can.
Turns out he
I
can.
am the agriculture.
We can't become complacent. Fight, fight, fight. Love you guys. Love you too. No.
Hey, speaking of fighting, Gina's lawsuit is moving forward.
Oh. Breaking news. Okay, here we go. Just a little update on my lawsuit. I sound just like Gina Carano, by the way. That's my impression. Little
I couldn't tell
update.
the difference, Gary. It's just
Yeah,
like,
it's uncanny, right? A little update on my. Thank you for making the words bigger. Thank you. Just a little update on my lawsuit at Disney/Lucasfilm. Disney Lucasfilm. The case continues to move forward, and I anticipate having more substantive. Thank you. Update. I'm getting hungry. In the next few weeks. Thank you. We remain determined. I'm a little lightheaded. Dude, I haven't had a carb in like a month, bro. Okay?
No coffee?
I can't read. I've not had a
Carb.
pizza. It's the most
Carb.
ridiculous excuse I've ever heard.
I'm going to have a carb in Florida. Okay? We remain determined. Just one carb.
Yeah.
We remain determined, and my team has been exceptional in honoring the court and respecting the process. I am very proud to have this team. Thank you all for continued support of X. Cara Dune Day yesterday on January 30th touched my heart. Oh, we love Gina. Hail Gina Carano! Speaking of fighting. Oh, it's moving forward.
so that's Discovery and everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for that Discovery. Oh, I'm so excited for the Discovery part of that. So much shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be good.
We're going to be law tube when that happens.
I'm
Kathleen Kennedy videos are back.
I'm wondering, like, they've had to have tried to settle. Like, they don't want this to happen. They've had to. So, listen, Gina has Elon lawyers behind her. So these aren't scrubs. These aren't, as we used to say in prison, dump trucks. These are real fucking lawyers who can actually take on Disney. Because we're talking about a guy who owns SpaceX, X, Tesla. Those are much bigger companies. So, yeah.
He pays people to play his games for him.
Why not? I would.
There was a John Travolta movie. I can't remember the title of it. It was a really good movie where he's basically running this court case. And he says the aim of every court case is to settle. But that assumes that the person is aiming for money or the most benefit. Elon has an axe to grind as it is with Disney. And so he's like, I want to send a message that you can't fire people for my business because you harm my business as it's based around free speech in the first place.
Oh, they made it so much worse when Disney publicly pulled the advertising. Everybody's back, by the way, on X. Yeah. And the reason they're back is because there's interaction. Yeah, they're not going to go to fucking Blue Sky. And nobody's going to advertise on fucking Instagram or Facebook because, they're frauds. They're absolute frauds. So, yeah, they're going to go to X. Yeah. Of course they
go fuck yourself.
There you go.
Is that clear? I hope it is. Hey, Bob.
Amazon announced they're coming back. I did respond to Elon saying, "Can I pay you not to advertise Rings of Power?" I haven't heard back yet. Andrew Fay for $99.99. Donning my aluminium foil hat. See, I said it right, Disparu. Aluminium foil hat. Mm-hmm. I ponder
none of that low quality aluminum.
Yeah. Well, aluminium just sounds better. I ponder if Emelia Perez is the world's best troll directed at Hollywood. An orchestrated Netflix gag to detox from the woke Marxist DEI bullshit at award shows. Love you guys. Truth will always float in time. You're right. I'd like to believe that, but it's a Netflix movie. So no, it should be a troll. We're in parody world right now. And it's such a parody that this movie, just take away its themes. It's a shitty fucking movie. It's a horrible singing. I think Zoe, people have already won awards for this. It's and at this point, you just got to go, good. I hope it wins it all. Hope it beats. And then Hollywood will go home after, praising a dude for best actress and go home and go, what did we just do? After the culture shifted, I can't do anything but root for it at this point because it feels like a troll, but it's not.
That they have any self-awareness at that. We're all just going to point and laugh while they pat themselves on the back at this point.
It's kind of like they've reached the end of the line. Once that really happens, it's like you got to just turn around and go back.
This is the end of it. This is the end.
The final
Speaking of the final read, did you see that Elliot Page has officially been cast in the Odyssey?
Yeah, after John
I just
Laird.
hope that pussy mans up and stops being such a bitch.
Yeah, right.
Stop crying all the time, puss.
Because
man up.
Is she going to be Odysseus or
probably
maybe a Cyclops?
Maybe
he needs to learn that as a man, people don't give a shit about your feelings.
No,
True.
So shut up.
Mm-hmm. I agree. John Leguizamo's in it too, and I'm like, oof.
Oh, this movie's fucked.
That race baiter.
I have faith in Nolan. Nolan doesn't own a phone. He's probably not aware of half of this shit, but Elliot Page destroyed Umbrella Academy to where even the showrunner who had to put up with it publicly, privately was like, fucking hell, and Umbrella Academy had a great first season, and then it was shit after that. And the way they dealt with the transition was just like, I just went out and did it. That was it. It was like one line. It was like, oh my God. It's not a good sign. I'm not, and I don't know if it's official yet. We'll find out if it's official, but we'll see. We'll see. One of the very few people on this earth in Hollywood that I'll give the benefit of the doubt to would be Chris Nolan. Enoch Maman, reviews and rants for Fitty. There are too many cobras in my yard, so I naturally bought some mongooses. Unfortunately, I sent 22 mongooses. That's too many. Anyone use mongooses? X-Ray Girl? You love dogs. They look like weasels. Why not buy an actual one? DM me if you're interested. Anakmaman, are you okay?
I've never had a mongoose.
They're pretty. They're all right. They're kind of cute.
They are.
Does that mean they taste better?
They look like shaved squirrels.
Oh.
Are they like guinea pig?
Oh, guinea pig, good.
God, you guys ate the
Guinea pig
shit out of
great.
that. And
Did
you're
you
like,
guys get sick eating that?
No.
no. I got sick before.
Before.
From the altitude
I didn't
got
guinea
sick
pig
in the water.
It was pretty good. It's like chicken.
Anything. Most things with pig in the name usually.
Dude, I climbed Machu Picchu sick as a fucking dog.
That would have.
But I did it. I wasn't gonna miss it. Yeah. Literal Gamer for 20 says, hello, FNT. I was just wondering if Shad was aware that Wheel of Time game that was released in 1999 that doesn't follow the story or the books. It's available on GOG right now, and I would love to see him do a video on it.
I'm actually not familiar with it. I might have to.
I've heard about it before. I think it's about the Black Azure.
I've
never played it though. I really old, I think, like 90s or something.
Sorry, it's always funny when you hear different pronunciations because
yeah, I read the books. All my
you read the
pronunciations are just
I know,
from the books.
Because I'm the audiobooks. It's Adja, but
I think it should be a jar. So like, surely a jar just.
Aes
very
Sedai
American.
is spelled so friggin' weird that it's just.
I always pronounce it Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Oh shit! When I was reading Tolkien back in the day, whoo, I couldn't pronounce any of those fucking names.
At the best of times, I'm a very lazy reader when it comes because I'm not going to remember the names anyway, so I just kind of read them all as like Schlur, and people are like, "What's that book about?" I'm like, "It's about a character called Schlur," and then I realize,
Schlurpo.
I thought, "Oh, sorry."
Schlurpo.
Just kind of glaze over the name every time.
Stephen De Leon for $2 says Gary likes whole wheat dick sandwiches. Thank you. The Grand Duke for 20 says Chrissy is the best. Yellowfash, how can you be streaming Fortnite? How could you be streaming Fortnite and doing FNT at the same time? He's multitasking.
That's right. That good.
You don't want to know what else he's doing. You don't want to know what else he's doing. Yeah,
Not just a third leg he's got.
Mr. Burger, aka the Evil Eggplant on X for $5 says, hail Yellow Flash and panel. Mr. Burger in exile on X. I am the Evil Eggplant on X, aka Mr. Burger, Evil Eggplant for president in 2028. I hate eggplant.
Hail, Mr. Burger.
Hail, Mr.
Really
Burger.
good animator.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
really funny.
They're really good.
He's been making One Piece parodies. They're pretty funny.
Oh. I didn't know there. I'll have to look. I don't like eggplant. It's like a vegetable seafood. It's disgusting.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
That is me reading right there.
My screen is completely broken. I can't even see what you brought up. I have to reset. I've
Go
to
reset. Go
my
reset.
thing.
I gotta read a couple more. Then we're gonna
Ryan.
get over the Rumble. All right. I got that literal gamer one already. X-ray girl up on the left there, right there. TJ Jordan for $10. Has any news? Is there any news about the status of Horizon 2 or its sequels been announced yet? It's making me wonder if Kevin Costner regrets leaving Yellowstone. I would too if I was making $1.5 million per episode. Yeah, it was a fight over ego too. It was kind of stupid. So it looks like it's being released at a couple film festivals, and it looks like it's probably going to go to Netflix. So it depends on how it performs on Netflix. But the second one is done. He's trying to secure funding for the third and fourth, and he put a bunch of his own money. So respect for putting a bunch of your own money into it. And I didn't hate Horizon. I mean, I just wish there was a part 2 because it was a really good beginning to something, you know? That's all I know. But it's looking like it. For one, it's done. It was supposed to be out like a couple of months after the first one, and who knows? Who fucking knows? TJ Jordan for $10 says it fucked up. You know what it did? It fucked up Yellowstone, and it fucked over Kevin Costner what was left of his career. So it was a fucking bad move on both sides. But see, Sheridan's fine because he's already on to his other shows, and the Yellowstone spinoff is going to do fine. Ryan's forehead is starting to grow on me, says Mr. Borgen for 100 Norwegian krona. There you go.
You know, last week I came in and I was looking like, man, my forehead is looking. Then I saw Ryan. I'm like, no, I'm fine.
It's a sniper's dream.
A sniper's dream.
Oh, wow. Now that Gary is a certified connoisseur of fecal matter, when can we expect the esteemed Neil Gaiman as a guest? Hi, Chrissy. Being a mom suits you. Simp. Lemuel, you know what? Soon. Any minute now, we'll have Neil Gaiman on. Well, you know what? We'll have Neil Gaiman and Gavin McGinnis on at the same time. That'll be fucking awesome.
He'll be streaming from his garden bathtub.
Yes. Enemy Con for $19.99. I turned 20 today. Oh my God, you're young for this audience. Congratulations. So here's 20. I'll end up listening to this while I'm at work tomorrow. It's what I do every Saturday. Hail FNT, but more importantly, hail Ryan and his relatable rants. You find those relatable, huh? Okay. No, just kidding. Jay Chain for $1.99. $1.99 for quarterback Garrett having to edit that review. And that's exactly what he got paid for it. That's amazing.
Oh, man, I got double the amount.
Dude, that looks like you were jacking something off.
Flag. 'Cause I am a proud American. I jacked the flag.
Did you practice with a lot of
Hail in the room.
Hail, brother.
Did you practice with a lot of shake weights back in the day?
Yeah,
you go.
He did,
Get
yeah.
all that power there.
Question for
And
Gary.
all of them at the same time.
Question for Gary in the panel. Would you rather go without your favorite music or your favorite movies and shows? I couldn't live without music. Oh, The Darkness for $19.99.
You included shows,
I think that's an easy one. You go without music because you get music in your movies anyway, so you still get to enjoy some.
Yeah, but not
That's
the
an
music I want to
interesting
listen
spin.
to all the time.
Yeah, I love long drives. It's one of my favorite things to do in the world is drive around this beautiful country of ours, particularly in the Southwest. And if I had to do it without music, that would be fucking terrible.
If you
Yeah,
could include
I agree.
podcasted with music, I think I'd go with that too.
Well, that's the thing. It depends whether you're including new content or not.
I think they're just
it
saying
all
music
your
or
favorite?
TV shows or movies. You got to choose one. You got.
I would get rid of music before TV. But if it's like literally
I'll
just
get
your
TV
favorite stuff, I re-listen to music.
It'd be really bad for the channel if I gave up TV and movies.
Like,
Turn
look,
to a
here's a
music
John
channel.
Bon Jovi video.
What if that was the only one you had?
Yeah, it's the
John
only
Bon
music he's
Jovi
allowed.
disaster.
Time Enough at Last, the Twilight Zone episode, Time Enough at Last, but it's like music instead, and all you have left is Bon Jovi.
Shad, Idris Elba used the one sword famous for its cutting ability and referred to it as a zombie ninja sword as an argument to remove points. Thoughts?
I need to see the context of it because I've heard his comments something about removing knives or something.
I have the
like
clip.
that,
We're gonna play it in Rumble.
Let's do
okay,
it.
we got to play that in Rumble, and I have a sword to show you. Remind me, Shad. I have a
Whoa.
sword to show you.
Whoa.
I'm going to whip it out of its sheath.
Gary is wanting to whip out his sword.
I'm going to whip out my sword out of its sheath.
Oh, look,
And
I'm
it's
ready
for the
for it.
Rumble hour.
Wow.
His argument is as stupid as it sounds.
No,
but
you
you're
don't
like,
like
I
the
need
sword.
context.
Yeah,
It's like, no, you don't. It is literally, if
Oh,
remove the
I know
punt,
what sword
it's not
it is
dangerous
now.
anymore.
Yeah.
The actors, I'm surprised they're allowed to, like, these are people who are able to tie their shoes, I think.
No, the problem is he doesn't want to admit what the real problem is, and so he's trying to find something else to blame.
But
Of
seriously,
course.
This is somebody that's supposed to, like, was recommended as James Bond, and yet will at no point represent England or the English. It's like, okay then, fair enough.
I swear, the more actors speak these days, the dumber they become. They're just...
No, it's just revealing how stupid they truly are.
You never hear Anthony Hopkins popping off and talking about
No.
stuff like this.
Whenever he talks, he's brilliant. That's
Yeah.
actually the.
It's because he's not an idiot.
Yeah.
YouTube is getting petty. Not only are your channels not in my feed anymore, but FNT doesn't even show up under subscriptions. I had to go to the Nerdrotic page. Trump needs to pass digital rights acts as he promised. Yeah, it really depends. You know, I think some people see it. My wife did notice that Nerdrotic It's Toxic got knocked to number 2 on the search.
Yeah, it did.
Wow.
Yeah, got knocked to number 2. Her number 1 was Nerdrotic on Piers. Maybe someday it'll go to my channel, but, you know, progress, not perfection.
No, Shaq did a video on it. Go watch his video on it. His breakdown of the whole situation and what YouTube's doing, I think, is on point. And they're trying to take away the power from the creators and give it back to their algorithm. So there's a whole thing on it. Watch it.
Yeah, so I have a video on Shadiversity focusing on what's happening with sword content, but it actually applies to nearly all niche communities at the moment. And this next year, with what the algorithm is doing, it's going to be rough for a lot of old school creators.
He did have on his website a video about what he wanted to, like, the changes he wanted to make to the internet, and they were good suggestions. So as long as he follows through with what
if
he's already
Trump
said,
can pull through some interesting stuff, like, that would be great. We'll have to see though.
We still get a lot of people watching this show, so I'm grateful. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
And Rumble, too. So thanks for looking for it. I appreciate it. We're going to wrap it up with Don't Be Hasty in 2 parts, and then we're going to go over to Rumble. Don't Be Hasty for $20 total. Says, Captain America is named after America. Wears an American flag and served in American military. He also has an A on his mask. Stands for America. But according to Anthony Mackie, he shouldn't represent America. It's kind of like how Anthony Mackie takes Captain America's name, wears his suit, and stars in Captain America movie, even though he isn't Captain America. There you go. And we'll get the rest.
They want to change it to Antifa.
Yes. Well, that's
Captain Antifa.
Captain Anarchy.
just an entirely black suit.
That's what Falcon and Winter Soldier was. So thanks to everyone who left a super chat donation. We'll get the rest on Monday on Rumble and Nerdrotic Live. Thank you very much. Thanks to the Modrotics for your kind work. Thanks for everybody searching out this channel. We should just call the show Nerdrotic is Toxic. Fuck it.
Imagine the viewer bump.
Well, quick story on that. It's been going on for like 2 years, right? So I finally brought it up to my partner manager. He's like, nah. And I'm like, go in incognito and search it. And it was the first. He's all, oh. And I'm like, that's not an accident. That's not a fucking accident. But, you know, what am I going to do? Take on.
But what
Google?
surprises me is that the people in YouTube are surprised by that. And it's like, hang on, how are you guys even aware what your platform
surprised
is?
in quotes.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. So it's just something we got to deal with. That's
The
life.
weird one is 7th is Nerdrotic election. Like, what did you get voted for?
I don't know. What came up for me was Nerdrotic JFK, and it's like, what? I talked about it on Nerdrotic Live, but no, like Nerdrotic Daily or Live don't come up, but like dude, the videos do really well, so I can't complain. I really can't. Whatever's going on, I have no control over it. I will worry about what I have control over. I brought it up to him. Nothing will be done. That's it. Okay. So we are going to, is that another one there? X-Ray Girl on the left?
Those are the Rumbles.
Okay, so we're going to get these on the Rumble side. All right, so we're going to go over to Rumble now. Again, thanks everybody for watching. We'll be back next week from Orlando at MegaCon. Who will be there? I mean, at MegaCon, a lot of people. Garrett's going to be there. X-Ray Girl's going to be there. Disparu's going to be there. I'm not pointing in the right direction. Shad will not be there. Yellow Flash is going to be there. As Drunk 3PO.
Drunk 3PO.
Yes.
He's my avatar.
I'll be there, guapo.
Odin, Ian, are you going to be there?
Sadly, no, I will not be there.
Jesus Christ, you're fine.
Get out of here.
Star Wars Theory, Ripaverse, Critical Drinker, Jeremy, Ryan, all the Geeks and Gamers crew. It's going to be tons of fun. And our show, have no idea. We'll be doing it from our hotel rooms. So
I'll be on the road.
I will be down in Dallas probably pretty soon.
Let me know.
Really?
Let me
I
know.
got to go down there and sign comics.
Nice.
Let me know.
I will.
I'll come up. It's just a little 5-hour drive.
Yeah, it's not that much.
Nothing for Texas.
Nothing.
With
for Texas.
You just have to drive through Austin.
You just drive around Austin at this point.
Well, I try to do it at night, like if I have to. Like Austin sucks.
I just take the toll roads. It's so much quicker.
That's why, like, all these people move from California. Like, we're going to move to Austin. And it's like, that is a lateral move. Okay, that is.
I'm fine with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stay there.
Stay there. All right. See you on Rumble, and the rest of you. We'll see you next week. Ciao.
See ya.
Cause I'm probably late. Oh, hey, Friday night time.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.